Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage?
I'm too sick to go to school.
Quit hogging the bathroom!
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. Fake pills with fentanyl are the #1 killer of youth in Arizona. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hey, Hardy, hi-yo, Silver, and welcome to Tuesday here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic as we broadcast live from the luxurious palatial estates of CRC Broadcasting in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White, right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien will be a little late today, should be along shortly. And we have lots to talk about on tap. You are the fourth dimension. Texting in at 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios. What a big night last night, Keon. First of all, congratulations on your Washington Commandos beating the Cincinnati Bungles. And I think we should break that down. But we probably should get things happening here before we start breaking that down. A big week in football happening, and there's a lot of talk about if the Bengals are in trouble, meaning playoff wise, if they're going to recover from an 0-3 start. But I think you and I and Jeffrey probably believe everybody just, relax for a minute. Everybody just relax for a minute because I think that what's going to happen is this season is a long season and it will unfold. And I think the Bengals will eventually bounce back. I thought last night, Keon, correct me if I'm wrong, probably the best I've seen the Bengals play this year. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I would agree with that. I think that they got out of the gates last night faster than in previous games. They really struggled to get that quick start, and then they were able to sustain that throughout the course of the game. The problem was their defense wasn't helping them, but the offense came out and actually looked really good for the first time this entire season.
Yeah, and Joe Burrow didn't look as uncomfortable, shall we say, behind center. He looked like he was able to deliver the ball, and he did with to his main targets. And it looked like he wasn't in any sort of pain as well. I think this was the first night I've seen, or the first game I've seen Joe Burrow look comfortable.
Yeah, and part of that is I do think that Washington has a lot to fix and work on defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So the pressure that you're feeling from a lot of teams normally you weren't getting from Washington. And also Cincinnati's offensive line held up. It's not a great old line, but it was good enough to get the job done last night, keep Joe more or less protected and upright, and allow him to make the kinds of plays that make him a special quarterback. And, having that connection with Jamar Chase really helped too.
Cincinnati only taking 4 sacks last night. And on the other side, Jamar Chase looked amazing. Joe Burrow delivered the ball on time and on target a couple of times to Jamar Chase. I mean, he looked pretty good in a losing effort. And I don't. Do you think that the Cincinnati coach is headed for the hot seat? Could he be on the hot seat even right now?
I think he could be. And as much as you want to say pump the brakes, it's the 0-3, but it's still early in the year. The fact is that once you get to 0-3, you're in dangerous territory. No 0-3 team has ever won a Super Bowl, and 2.5% of 0-3 teams since the year 1990 have actually made the playoffs. Because even if you bounce back, you're in a pretty deep hole. You can't afford to lose games now, and that division that they play in is pretty tough. So I would say that Zach Taylor got a toasty seat if it's not already hot.
Sounds like Joe Burrow's not too worried about it. He says, look, this is a long season. We still have to play our divisional opponents. We still have to play, Pittsburgh. We still have to play, the rest of these guys in this division. This season is not over by any means. They just have to get better each week. And again, let me reiterate, I think they have played much better last night than they have so far this season.
And they didn't look bad against the Chiefs either.
No. So we will have to see how this shakes out with the Cincinnati Bengals. But I mean, how about Washington? How about the Commandos? Go ahead, Keon.
How about those Washington Commandos?
You could probably do about 45 minutes just on last night's game.
I could do 3 hours of just Commanders talk. You're not going to like it. No one's going to like it.
Oh, but I will be happy for you, my friend.
Easy. Woke up a little bit this morning, had some steam in my stride. You know what I mean? Like I was really feeling it. I don't think I can remember the last time I had that much fun watching a Washington football game. It has to be RG3 is the last time I enjoyed watching a game that much. And even then it had to be like the biggest play in that era where he ran the 76 yards against the Vikings or whatever it was. That's the last time watching my team I had that much fun. And that's the kind of stuff that I hang in there for whenever people have told me over the years, change teams. They finally, I think, gotten it right. I think they've gotten it right at every level with the general manager and the head coach and the quarterback. Like you just have to get it. And I think that
maybe not the offensive coordinator.
Maybe not the offensive coordinator. And I hope that he does well enough that somebody hires him away. Because
he does have head coach experience.
He does. And you know how the NFL likes retreads. Somebody please take this problem off our hands. I hear Niner fans want Kyle Shanahan gone. I'll trade you straight up Cliff Kingsbury for Kyle Shanahan.
Hey, there you go.
You get Cliff. You see how you like that, and I'll take your head coach as an offensive coordinator, please. I'm begging you. But I just thought the offense functioned really well. I like the big plays were there, but also the football was not just put in jeopardy or put in danger all the time. Jaden Daniels does not look like a rookie. He looks like he's been playing this game for at least a year, which is crazy. He's 3 weeks in and he's making confident throws. He's making quick decisions. And then everything that you heard about him before the draft, the fact that the footwork is something that you don't really have to work on with him. He's already got that. The fact that he's got a work ethic where they gave him his own key. He goes into the building every morning at 5. Like that, stuff you like to hear. To see it show up on the field is very exciting.
So, like, one takeaway last night for you, was it Jaden McDaniels' performance? Was it the offensive performance overall? Was it your defense? What one thing stood out to you that you can hang your hat on and say, yeah, that was a good night?
I think, honestly, they're well coached. And I genuinely can't recall the last time I saw Commanders team that I could say, yeah, that's a well-coached unit. They haven't been for years and years and years. And they've brought in all manner of coaches, guys that look like they're future Hall of Famers, like Mike Shanahan. Ron Rivera, highly respected guy. And for some reason, this is the first time that roster looked well coached. They looked like they knew what they were doing. They weren't committing a bunch of very stupid penalties, which we've seen in the past. They looked prepared for that game. And even though the defense is lacking talent all over the place, they clearly, they remind me of the Cardinals a year ago, where they clearly knew what they were supposed to be doing and where to go. They just didn't have the talent to really do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that. They're going to scare every team they play. That there aren't going to be easy wins against the Washington Commanders. You will work for each and every single one. And if you're not ready, they're going to beat you. I like that. I'm having fun.
So, you talked about your rookie quarterback. I don't think this by any means he's arrived, but how fun was it to see the poise he stood in there when he delivered that ball to scary Terry McLaurin, and he took one in the chest protector as he's releasing the ball, and it was right there on time and in Terry McLaurin's hands for that touchdown. Oh, you had to really be smiling ear to ear on that.
Not as much as Terry. Terry has had who's been throwing the football to Terry his entire time in Washington. He's had just about nobody really throwing him the ball, or guys that mean well but can't quite get the ball there. Like Taylor Heineke means well, but his arm's not very big. So sometimes the ball was just short. Terry is actually one of the best contested catch wide receivers in the NFL, and he has to be because his quarterbacks have been throwing him such bad footballs. He's had to figure out another way to be successful. I can't remember Terry having passes multiple times in a row that were hitting him directly in his hands. He looked surprised.
Yeah.
Forget me. He looked shocked that it was actually happening.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
And your offensive line kept him upright. He made great decisions. He was able to deliver that little whoopsie pass that he made that was almost Patrick Mahomes like, wasn't it? That kind of little free throw shot into the end zone for another touchdown. I mean,
yeah,
how good was that?
Throwing it to the eligible receiver line.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's got the full package. I genuinely didn't think that he was going to look this good this soon, and he's still got a lot to do. He's still got a lot of football left to play. And these defensive coordinators are going to figure out what your tendencies are and make you really look bad in the second half of the season. So I know that there's going to be a little bit of rookie regression coming, but the fact is he's ahead of schedule. He was not supposed to look this good, in my opinion.
I don't know about regression. It seems like he learns and he takes in what he learns and he takes in things that he didn't know before. And he's got like what do you call that? That memory where you can look at something a photographic memory, and it's like he's a sponge. He has soaked up so much from the different situations he's been in. Lest we forget, he was at Arizona State for a couple of seasons. He did well there. Maybe he was in a wrong situation. He went on to LSU. Oh, I don't know. He just won the Heisman there. He went on, and played amazing there. Then got drafted in the, first round of the NFL. Like, what was it, second or third pick?
Second.
And he has stood strong. There's never been any question about what the Commandos were going to do. There's never been any talk about some other veteran presence coming in and replacing him. He's always been the number one guy. That's got to talk to his character. That's got to talk to his smarts and his knowledge of the game of football. Otherwise, they wouldn't just hand him the keys to the team.
I don't think so, but they were really high on him for a number of things. I think the work ethic was a really, really big reason. Just the you talk to everybody at LSU and they're like, yeah, Jaden's the first guy in, last guy out. And then that's proven to be true so far in Washington. It's just carried over. He leaves after the coaches do. It's kind of crazy, how much this guy loves football. And then he's really leaned into some virtual reality stuff. So it really helps bring the playbook to life for him to see how the play is playing out. And he studies with that for a long time too. So that he's doing the right amount of work to make his talent show up on the field. And I can't ask for anything else more as a fan.
It looks like the Commandos finally have a great foundation to build from, and I hope it ends up being one of the great turnarounds. Kind of like the Lions. The Lions were a punchline to everybody's jokes. The Lions this, the Lions that. Nobody's saying that now. I would love to see that happen with the Commandos. Not only because it's the Commandos and there's great tradition there, but it's because, my friend, it's your team and you're the long-suffering fan.
Well, I appreciate that. I do, especially, coming from you. You know what I've been going through. The Cardinals have had their ups and downs, so you've seen my struggles. I'm just happy, man. Like I see the general manager, Adam Peters, and so I know he's going to go out there. He's going to do his homework, and they're going to continue to get better. They've got a boatload of cap space, by the way. Like just a lot of money that they can spend, and they haven't wasted it. They didn't go ahead and sign 15 guys that, are going to be on the roster for 4 years. And then in 3 years, they're actually too old to be good at the position. Like the stuff that this team used to do, the king dysfunctional organization of the NFL, we're not that anymore. And I'll take that.
888-368-1580, the text line buzzing along here. Let's check in on it. Of course, Big George being right on task. Hello, gentlemen, and happy Taco Tuesday. Well. The Diamondbacks pitching is really bad right now. They blew an 8-0 lead on Sunday and looked anemic against the Giants yesterday. Woof. Yeah, because that's what we're talking about, Big George. We'll get back to the Diamondbacks here soon. Let's see. The Chosen One says, afternoon, gentlemen. Congrats to Keon on his Commandos QB's coming out party. You think that's what it was?
A little bit, because to this point in the season, he didn't actually have a passing touchdown. He's been good, and he's had a couple of rushing touchdowns, and he's gotten to the red zone a bunch of times. He played the Giants, kicked 7 field goals. You remember that?
Yep.
But he got the air touchdown. He got one on the ground too.
Yep.
I mean, he's electric, and I'm glad that people got to see that in prime time.
So if you had to put one word on last night for Jaden Daniels, what would it be?
I would say promising. I hope for more of that. Just having the ability to lead this team to score 30 plus points. I didn't think it was possible. Not with this roster.
Average Joe is on the text line, 888-368-1580. Hey, Keon, even with Cliff Kingsbury, Jaden Daniels looking pretty damn good.
He does. He's a really mature football player, but there's just so much stuff that you worry about with rookies, and you don't have to worry about that with him. I'll take it.
Fish Tank says, hey, Keon, heard someone say the Commandos are a legitimate chance of winning the NFC East. You ready to go there, or do we all need to pump the brakes?
Pump the brakes a little bit. The Eagles are still in this division. They're still really good. The Cowboys are at 1-2, and I just don't think that they're as bad as that record says just yet. So, yeah, go ahead and pump the brakes a little bit. But look, the Cowboys lose another one of these, and the Eagles drop one. I might become the most insufferable person and I'm sorry in advance. My apologies.
CK's on the text line. It says, Commandos may have been conservative, but Dingleberry let him loose a bit last night. Goes to show Dingleberry was the problem in Arizona. Willow is ha 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 ha. I don't
know what to make of that either.
Goes to show Dingleberry was the problem in Arizona. Willow is. Thanks, CK.
I think he was saying was not the problem in Arizona.
Oh my God, really? Oh,
I think it was a team effort. I think the quarterback and the head coach were working together to ruin this organization.
a lot of congratulations coming along here. Pinocchio on the text line. Congrats, Keon. You must have had as much fun last night as I had. I had misery Thursday. Great game, fun team. Enjoy, brother. Beer me, Randy, please. Well, I mean, absolutely, is Keon response to that.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. The only time that I've had more fun than this was either that Minnesota run with RG3 or also RG3 when Washington beat Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. And that was also beautiful for very different reasons. Also, I maybe ruined a relationship that day. That's fine. Maybe I was dating a Cowboys fan, and
all right,
I said some things.
More from Keon on that later on the Daily Blender. Silver Pop says, good afternoon and happy Tuesday, Keon. I must say I'm impressed by the Commandos. Good game yesterday. How about that chirping the Bengals were doing after another loss last night? Shake my head. I have a friend after Sunday's game against the Lions, fellow Cardinals fan. He was telling me this Sunday was a lock for the Cardinals. I told him, watch out. The Cardinals have a habit of making rookie quarterbacks look like Hall of Famers, a.k.a. Russ Wilson, Cam Newton. I don't know what that meant.
With those guys as rookies, but this is a different organization than when those guys played. And I say that just the general manager is different, head coach is different. So I don't want to necessarily say that that's a hard and fast rule, especially since the Bengals went ahead and made Jaden Daniels look like he was due for a gold jacket last night. They should do something about that defense in Cincy. It's not good.
Well, T-Licious wants to talk a little fantasy football. We'll have to wait for Jeffrey to get here to talk about that. Donnie, he's got a comment about the Bears getting it wrong. Donnie, we'll hold that because we'll talk even more NFL. Again, Jeffrey O'Brien will be here in about 30 minutes or so. It's Keon and Randy holding down the fort until we can get this airplane launched and flying straight and level on this Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the San Francisco Giants tonight in Phoenix, continuing that series that began Monday with a 6-3 loss. They'll send Brandon Pfaadt to the bump tonight. He's 10-9, a 4.66 ERA with 172 strikeouts. Logan Webb will go for San Francisco. He is 12-10 with an ERA of 3.59. Arizona minus a 1.5 plus 140 on the run line. The Giants getting the 1.5 minus 165 on the money line. San Francisco plus 125. Arizona minus 150, and the over-under is at 8.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now at 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppen.com. That's KASAI Teppen.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender for a Tuesday. Jeffrey O'Brien will be along shortly. He was delayed a bit at the beginning of the show, so it's Keon Rose and Randy White helping you get this Tuesday edition underway. We're talking Monday Night Football. There was a lot of activity last night. Quick, let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. Heavy Metal Maniacs wants to fire the entire Dallas Cowboys organization. Not sure why. Fire the owners, fire the players, everybody. Just start the whole damn thing over.
I will say this about the Cowboys. They're 1-2. I don't think that's what that team actually is, but they didn't get better this offseason. And that is a fact that they had their opportunities. And not only did they not get better, but they had some pieces walk away in free agency. Tyler Biadasz, their center or former center, he's in Washington now. So that's not great that you have players leaving. They're staying in the division and you're not replenishing that. They didn't draft a whole lot. They didn't really pursue anybody in free agency. If the Dallas Cowboys do not improve, that's why.
Let's see. T-Licious really regretting the fact that he did not start Terry McLaurin instead of Shaheed. He says only got 68 points, so still lost in fantasy. Would have won if I started Scary Terry. So
that's a shame, but I understand too, because the first couple of weeks of Terry McLaurin haven't been great. That first week, he didn't do anything. As he said, he went out there and got a whole bunch of cardio in. And then week 2 was a little bit better, but for the guy that you're paying more money than all your other receivers, they really should have gotten him involved more. Then he got involved last night. How are you supposed to know is the point that I'm trying to make. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Exactly. Seabass says, I hear Jeffrey right there doing a live read of the Kasai commercial. Is he just avoiding us? No. See, that was not that was
pre-recorded.
It was not live. That was Memorex. So sounds real good, but that was not live. That was recorded earlier. CK on the text line. Commandos may have been conservative, but Dingleberry letting loose a bit goes to show you Dingleberry washed. The problem in Arizona, Willow is ha 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 ha.
I think you're trying to say wasn't. And
But he doesn't say that. He says "wast," and he's got it circled in red ink.
but also,
Dingleberry "wast" the problem.
I don't think the Cardinals.
There's
have
no
looked-
hyphen there. There was no N. Nothing.
The Cardinals have looked better
Wast
without Kingsbury here than when he was here.
Well, I mean that's true.
So I don't know that proves that. If they looked bad, then you'd have a point. But the Cardinals haven't looked bad so far this season. Not
Mr.
really.
Wilbur wants to know, Keon, before last night, who would you rather have had, Jaden Daniels or Quinn Ewers? And now, after that last night, who would you rather have?
I mean, the answer would have been Jaden both times. There's a lot of stuff that I like about Quinn, but Quinn has got the happy feet, the bad footwork. I am not a fan of bad footwork. That kills me when I watch college players and they're hitching twice before they throw, or their heels are clicking together. Like, that stuff drives me insane. I like good footwork. I like a good, clean throwing motion. Jaden Daniels does those things. Quinn Ewers, not consistently.
And maybe that's why he's not starting this week, and Manning is.
Yeah, and Arch Manning took his job, and he may never see it again.
Let's see here. Sir Drives a Lot says Kingsbury is an OC, not a head coach. Takes a leader to coach.
Yeah, and you have to understand that you've got to be good at delegating. So you've got to trust the people that you hire, but you also have to pay attention to the other people that you hire. You can't hire a defensive coordinator and then walk away. You do have to pay attention to what he's doing, even if you're an offensive-minded coach. Cliff Kingsbury, for whatever reason, whether it was the leadership or just having the multiple responsibilities that a head coach has, not head coach material, in my opinion.
Biscuits and Gravy says, sounds like Keon has a footwork fetish. Bah! That's 2 minutes and bad. That's bad. Biscuits and Gravy, you should know better than that. And on a Tuesday, by the way.
No less. On a Taco Tuesday, less.
Yeah. Let's see here. Pinocchio is back on the text line. It says, hey, who do you think got that ball? Daniels for his first passing touchdown, or the lineman who caught his first ever reception for a TD? I always love it when the big guys get involved in the game.
Yeah, you know what? That was a really good Kingsbury play. I'll give him credit for that one. That was. I saw that one developing, and I was like, all right, Cliff, you got me there.
Okay, Donnie, I'm going to read it, but remember, we're not talking about any other football games until Jeffrey gets here, and that'll be in about 20 minutes or so. But Donnie says, looks like the Bears got it wrong again with drafting the wrong quarterback yet again. Too bad. So sad. Why do I hear a little cynicism there?
There's a little bit. There's a little NFC North cynicism going on.
Could it be because Donnie's team, the Vikings, are playing so well?
They're playing well, and that's their divisional rival playing poorly. I don't think the Bears got it wrong with Caleb Williams. I think their team is bad.
Well, you can't go from a lackluster offensive line that gives up, 10 or 15 sacks a game to being, great overnight.
Let's just be honest. Justin Fields looks like a much better quarterback now that he's not playing behind that line.
Exactly.
And all I'm saying is maybe the problem is the Bears.
Although out of Steelers camp, the head coach says, I wouldn't be saying that Justin Fields is QB1 yet. I wouldn't be saying that.
I still think he has a real decision to make because it just depends on how Russell Wilson goes out there and plays. And can he play the way Mike Tomlin wants him to? Because Justin Fields has shown that he can at least do that. Tomlin wants you to stay ahead of the sticks and then don't turn the football over. Justin Fields has done that. He doesn't really turn the ball over. He's not taking the risks he used to, but he's protecting the football, and they are staying ahead of the chains for the most part. If Russell Wilson comes in and tries to do, backyard Russell Wilson stuff, I think that he's going to find himself in the doghouse pretty quick.
Let's see here. Big George says, pump the brakes, heavy metal maniacs. Cowboys will be fine. No need to fire everybody. Cooler heads will prevail. Does that seem odd coming from Big George?
It does.
It does not sound. That sounds kind of weird, doesn't it?
Big George sounds like me a little bit, where like my friends come to me and ask for relationship advice. I can give good relationship advice. Do I follow it? Of course not. Of course not. It's very yeah. Just sometimes you give better advice than you take.
Silver Pop says Cowboys had a very unproductive offseason. Plus, let's not forget they finally have actually a schedule that is not soft like the last 3 seasons. They've had a soft strength of schedule the last 3 seasons. Now they have some competition and are looking a little lost. A little. A-L-I-L. A little.
A little lost.
A little lost. Thank you, Silver Pops. 888-368-1580. All right, so we had another game last night.
The game we started broadcasting and then had to switch from because it was terrible.
All right, so Buffalo's got a new offense, and Jacksonville is not in sync yet. It's obvious to me that Tracy Arnold there, what is the quarterback again?
Trevor Lawrence.
There it is. Apparently, this team, for whatever reason, cannot seem to find their rhythm. As a drummer, I used to have to play to what they call click tracks, where they would have a track or a metronome that would be playing a constant, and it would be an exact, representation of the tempo of the song. So when I was in the studio or if I was in certain live situations, I had to play to a click track so you wouldn't speed up or slow down. And it seems to me right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars do not have a click track playing in their helmets because they can't seem to get in to the tempo of the game or the rhythm of the game. And when Trevor Lawrence, who I think is a good quarterback, I don't think he's brilliant by any means, but I think he is a good quarterback. I think he's a good NFL quarterback. I see so too. I think his arm is good. His footwork is good. I see the way he moves around in the pocket. He doesn't generally make stupid mistakes, but like last night, he overthrew that ball to Hamlin. His first ever interception, he got it last night on a ball that just kind of sailed on Lawrence. It just kind of took off on him. The receiver was wide open. It's not like Trevor was under some sort of duress. Maybe he didn't plant his feet and get off a good throw because it sailed right over the receiver's head, right into DeMar Hamlin's hands. Anyway, Buffalo clearly outclassed and beat the stuffing out, just beat the dog out of Jacksonville last night. What are your thoughts on that game, Keon, from your point of view?
Yeah, well, I agree with you on the Jacksonville stuff about the tempo. I think that's perfectly said. When you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, they are a team that will have most things working on a play, and there'll be one thing that's very important that won't happen. Either Lawrence is good and the receivers look good, they're running their routes, and then the offensive line doesn't block well. Or the offensive line blocks well, but then he throws it downfield and it's a drop. Or he holds onto the ball too long when the line does block well, and he misses wide open receivers. Like that, there's some part of the Jacksonville offense that always appears to not be working the way it's supposed to, that disrupts whatever the other parts of the offense are doing. You can't play consistent football like that and win. Also, the Jacksonville Jaguars led the league last year in touchdowns dropped. So plays that could have been 7 that just landed on the ground and resulted in nothing. And their solution to this plan was apparently Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas, and Gabe Davis. All guys who are really good receivers in terms of getting open and separating, but all have their issues with drops. This is some version of football malpractice that's happening in Jacksonville.
What do you think? I mean, it's the same coach. It's the
Doug
same
Peterson
quarterback
right there. Yeah,
it's the same offense. They didn't have a big turnover in the offseason. They didn't lose a bunch of guys.
They gained players.
So I don't understand. They were playing pretty well last season. I thought, they're really on the way up. I mean, they're going to be one of those teams that are getting it turned around, quality football and all that. Boy, they looked bad last night.
Yeah, and Jacksonville lost a bunch of really close games last year. And week 1 and week 2, those were at least close games again. It was a 3-point loss to the Dolphins and then a 5-point loss, 18-13 to the Cleveland Browns. So you're like, they're still losing, but they feel close. After last night, I don't know how you're supposed
man.
to feel close.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop Josh Allen. And they were even saying it on the broadcast, on the Westwood One broadcast. Josh Allen, the Jags looked like they just weren't prepared to play Josh Allen. Where was the spy just to keep an eye out for Josh? Where was the containing him in the pocket? Because you know how dangerous he is when he rolls out.
Right.
They seem to be prepared to play a version of Josh Allen that no longer exists. Because this version of Josh Allen is not just a great runner. He'll beat you with his arm too. He completed 76% of his passes.
Oh yeah, 76% of his patches. He threw for 260 some odd yards last night. 4 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown as well. I mean, Josh Allen was the man last night. And oh, by the way, first time I think in the NFL history, the first 5 drives on Monday Night Football were scores by Buffalo. The first 5 drives that they had the ball, the first 5 times they scored. I mean, right there, that's got to put a team, that's got to demoralize the team and put them in the hole.
Yeah, you got to feel bad about that. They couldn't stop Buffalo no matter what they tried to do. And the thing that was crazy is that Josh Allen was beating them any way he wanted to. He wanted to hand it off to James Cook. James Cook was going to go for 6 or 7 yards. He wanted to throw it. He was getting that anytime he wanted. If he wanted to tuck and run, he was going to get that anytime he wanted. Like there's nothing that Josh Allen wanted to do on a football field yesterday that he couldn't do. And Jacksonville either could not or would not stop him from doing it.
13 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second quarter, 3 in the third, and 10 in the fourth quarter for Buffalo. Just an absolute, they laid waste to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, that airplane ride home back to Jacksonville had to be a real quiet snoozer, because I can't believe there would be anybody that would be joking after that kind of a butt kicking at the hands of the Buffalo Bills. 47-10 final score on that. Before we take a quick break, let's check the text line at 888-368-1580. Seabass says, just wait until the Jags play the Colts. They'll get right then and feast on the blue horseshoe. Over. See, Jeffrey's not here to hear that. But I have a feeling that he may have, you may have hit him right in the feels there, and he somehow felt it. The universe probably is telling him.
He felt a disturbance in the force.
Beer Bob says quickly, Trevor Lawrence's pass that Hamlin picked off was so bad. I saw a meme of it today that Lawrence is the first guy to ever throw an interception to a guy who died. Well, yeah. I mean, I
guess that's one way of saying it.
All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, I have a feeling Jeffrey O'Brien will be joining us on this Taco Tuesday here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Hey, I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hidden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
JD Hayworth here, and the road to feeling better leads to my good friends Dr. William and Ava Gaspar at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. With both licensed nurses and physicians on staff by appointment or walk-in, Beehive IV Wellness takes a holistic, naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. All of today's popular treatments are available at Beehive Wellness, from IV hydration to joint injections, even popular semaglutide for weight loss. If you haven't tried IV treatment, you're missing out on your chance to really get healthy. So look them up, make an appointment, or simply walk into Beehive IV Wellness at their Chandler Clinic, where you always get a free initial consultation. Mention me, JD Hayworth, get half off your first treatment. Search Beehive IV Wellness on your mobile phone. You'll thrive with Beehive.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All right, it's Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I'm back, and what did I miss? What did we talk? We talked about the Monday Night Footballs, the balls.
Yep. Well,
Both
we had
balls.
a celebratory first part of the show, talking with Keon
Oh,
and him flying 10 feet off the ground after that big win last night.
Very smug for about 18 minutes straight.
Got to feel good with all of that. 38-3, man. It was funny because last night, with the Buffalo just started curb stomping the Jaguars, I get this note from Radio Ron. He's like, "Can we switch games?" Because it was bad. I'm like, "Yeah, I think so," and we did. We switched games last night on the radio broadcast, and then as soon as we did, that became kind of a blowout. That was kind of a mess. But of course, it was starting to look like a blowout by the Washington Commandos. But then, the Bengals were making a comeback. But still, 38-33. I mean, the scores in these games abnormally high, I think, for a Monday Night Football. But
except the Jaguars only scoring 10. We were just talking about that.
For everybody but them, sure. Did you guys talk about how Jaden Daniels did something that is a 1 in 1.7 million odds against at feet? Did you talk about that?
I did not talk about that.
Yeah, it was a historic performance, Keon. How do you not know this? It was 1 in 1.7 million. Here's the deal. Let me explain to you what was so damn impressive. They've scored on every drive in back-to-back games, including kneel downs. They had 8 drives Monday, 5 touchdowns, a field goal, and 2 ending in kneel downs at the end of each half. Week 2 versus the Giants, they had 7 field goals and a kneel down to end the half. It's 100% scoring rate. And, that one game, wow, 10 games since 2000 where somebody's actually done that. But here's the thing. It's crazy. It's crazy odds, Keon. How do you not know this?
I don't know.
They did it twice in a row. One game's, wow, 2 in a row.
I knew they didn't punt. I just didn't know the odds on that happening or not happening.
Oh, no. See, that wasn't the punt thing. That was the scoring and either scoring or having a kneel down. The punt thing, that was something that hasn't happened in 84 years.
No.
2 teams combined for 0 punts and 0 turnovers in that game.
But Washington hasn't punted in 2 weeks, which is nice.
That's even yes. So I'm just saying.
Which you gotta
record breaking.
To really understand how I feel about that stat, you need to understand that for years and years and years, the only player that would be representing Washington at a Pro Bowl was Tressway, the punter.
Mm-hmm.
Tressway's not going to a Pro Bowl this year. He's not going because he's
So-
not punting. And I'm so happy. I just
This is the first game since 1940 to feature 0 punts and 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
It's the only game in the last 84 years where this has happened. And there have been some that had a punt. There have been some that had low numbers, but this is the first time it just didn't happen at all. So, and then Jane Daniels in his first career touchdown threw that to an offensive lineman. And he was like, the lady at the end of the game was like, "Are you gonna let him have it? Because he's never gonna catch another one." He's like, "No, that's mine. I'm taking it.
I'm taking it.
That's mine first." If Jaden Daniels was cool, what he would do is take that thing home, put it across the bandsaw, and give him the half, and the other half, and like mount them to a cool plaque or something.
I'm pretty sure they can come up with another game ball to give the big guy.
No, it's the ball. It's the ball. That's what I think. Because that was the same kind of thing I was thinking with who was it that when he threw his first touchdown to it was of course it was the Bears. Udunze getting Caleb Williams. Both of them getting their first touchdown. I thought cut it in half, stick it to either side of this cool looking plaque. Then you both get to share the ball. I don't know. Jaden Daniels is a selfish bastard, so no, that's not going to happen.
I don't think that's
He's selfish
bastard. Okay. This offensive lineman will never have another chance. So,
well, I'll say this: Jaden Daniels showed me something last night. He took one right in the solar plexus and delivered the ball still to Terry McLaurin. Keon and I, we talked about that for 10 minutes.
That was one.
That was amazing, man.
No, it was a cool night to see former Sun Devil kicking a little butt out there. That was nice. And then Austin Eckler, though, that's the bad news. He was got himself a concussion. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but there was a casualty in last night's war. Anyway, so yeah, you guys talked about that, so there's no reason to keep talking about it, I guess.
No, we talked about that. We
talked about the Bills.
We talked about the Bills beating the dog out of the Jacksonville, and
the ghost who got an interception. You talked about that.
We did, yeah. It's the only.
Well, we didn't refer to him as a ghost, but
he's dead.
He's a dead man. About Damar Hamlin, the only NFL player to.
He's alive again now.
Yes,
he was dead, but now
he's the walking Hamlin. That's what he is. He's the walking Hamlin.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. It's funny because he'd been playing pretty nicely. I mean, it took him a while to get back in, and then you see him as a starter, and you're like, oh, good for him. But you're like, oh, wait, there is a reason he's in the NFL. He's kind of good at his job. So, good for him. Yeah. Good for him. So what do you guys? We hate the overlapping games, right? We hate that.
Oh, yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah. I hate this. I hate it so much.
I will say that the only good thing about this, if one of the games really truly sucks, like last night,
sure,
you can zip on over to the other game.
Sure. Yes. Yeah, but it's still I don't like.
But
that.
The problem is, like you would have to jump over yourself because ESPN is there showing you in the little window the other game that looks better while you're watching the game that sucks. That bothered me. It bothered me a lot.
Well, I mean,
that's you're at the prom with the friend of the girl you really wanted to go with, and as you're dancing, you're looking over here. Oh, there she is. That's great. That's good. That's fine. No, I'm good. I guess I'll just stay over here. Oh, you want to go to the buffet again? All right, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, that's fine. No, whatever you want. No, that's fine.
You want to go to the buffet?
Been there 4 or 5 times already. That's fine. I'm going to hit the punch. Nah. Anyway, Monday night games. They're going to do it again next week, but I guess there was a poll about the Monday night game saying, do you like 2 games being played on Monday night? 66.9%, 27,000 people said no.
That's what they should have said.
No,
there should be more people saying no.
How does this make the NFL more money? It's diluting the ratings between 2 games. When if you have one game, everybody shows up for the one game, even if it's a stinker. You're going to hang around for a little bit. You're like, well, maybe you'll get better. I don't have another
fantasy, or if you had bets, you'll probably watch to the end.
Yeah, we're going to combine 2 games, and it's like, okay, it was nice that we had an alternative to tune away from if you wanted. But what if both games stink? Then what are you going to do?
It's got 2 bad games.
You're not stuck. But I guess there's a different thought process. It's the only football on, just like bad pizza, good pizza, sex, whatever. Any is good. Any is good. But then there's 2 choices. Then you're like, it's diluting the product. I can't do this.
And the one that's going to be on main ESPN next week is going to be Titans Dolphins.
That looks like garbage.
That's the worst of the 2 games. They're doing it again. You got Seahawks Lions on the alternate broadcast.
By the way, we are airing Seahawks Lions next week.
There it is.
Guaranteed. Yep. Don't even have to ask me about that. 888-368-1580. Let's go to the text line. Chosen One says, you peasants, get yourself 2 TVs and watch both. Oh, little fella. I got 3 TVs in my living room, and we had them both on, and one was crying. Yeah, the one that had Bills in Jacksonville was I could hear it going every now and then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, I got the ESPN Plus, but I got no ESPN. So I can only watch the ABC ESPN Plus one. I prefer to have a game then, though. No game. Wait, I prefer to have a game than no game. Than. Sorry. Yeah, that would be THAN, Baker's Cocky Hens. Bullseye says, can we get a weather report from Randy? I thought summer was over. It's supposed to be like 110 all this week. That's got to set a record, right?
Well, I don't know about a record, but yeah, it's been a while. From the 1580 The Fanatic Harmon Solar Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randino Whitino coming at you live. Currently outside under mostly clear skies. It's only 104 degrees, and we're looking for mild temperatures tonight down to about 74. Wednesday, 107, 108 Saturday, 105 on Sunday. And then it's back down to the upper 90s by the middle of next week. But the overnight temperatures, middle 70s, upper 70s, it's absolute beautiful. Again, 104 under clear skies from the 1580 The Fanatic Harmon Solar Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White, back to you, Jeffco.
Thank you, Randy. Teacher lady says, hey, I just want to say, leaving an ASU Sun Devil like Jaden Daniels to outshine a USC quarterback, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams going to be the next Matt Leinart? I don't know. Next Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
Hey, Keon, let's do this show over here. Do you see Caleb Williams being like the next Matt Leinart?
No.
Okay, you go back to your conversation now.
Well,
anyway, teacher lady. It was nice to see Jaden Daniels, but here's the thing: we don't get to claim him completely. I mean, what is Jaden Daniels more known for? ASU or the other school?
I think it was LSU.
LSU.
Yeah.
That's where he won the Heisman.
Yep.
He had some promise here. The first ASU game I ever watched was Jaden Daniels as a freshman.
Yeah, but that's when Herm was here,
Yeah.
and he didn't use Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, to his greatest ability. So
Herm was not exactly big on quarterback development.
Average Joe says, hey, Jeffrey, do you watch Annie Agar's NFL weekly recaps? I've seen a couple of them. After a while, it's just sort of the same thing. But he says, I loved her line about the Colts. Thankfully, you had the roof closed, so God didn't have to watch you play.
Damn.
Oh, that's a great line. That's a great line. Seabass says, okay, I take back everything I said about the Colts. Jeffrey's back in the show. Wait, what did you say about the Colts?
You shouldn't have said anything. Then he wouldn't have known that you said anything.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Oh, you're a Jaguars fan? Wow. No, I feel like the Colts can win that one too. But outside of that, the Colts are only beating the Bears and they're only beating the Jaguars. Beyond that, we're not beating anybody. Moist One says, what a throw by Jaden Daniels to McLaurin. Ice the game for the Commandos. And Moist valuable players. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Let's get this done real fast. It's time for the weekly awards. Right now for our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest is a tie between Randy and Ralph at 26. Keon, you got 25. I kind of in last at 24. Radio Ron forgot to pick his, so he got a big fat 0.
No, that'll do it. That'll do it.
So I can't really count him anymore.
You can't be spooky Ron if you don't pick.
Well, the spooky thing would be if he came from behind and beat us all.
Oh yeah, and that could still happen.
Yeah, because he's spooky Ron.
We'll bring that up at the end of the year if he does. But Fish Tank not just won the week, but he's the leader in the clubhouse in first place right now in the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest. He got 11 right
with all his picks made before the season.
Oh, that's right. No, come on, Fish Tank. Did you change any? Is he on? Did you guys hear from him?
I
yet?
haven't heard.
Oh
from
yeah,
Fish Tank
he's
today,
been there.
Yeah, he's he said those are all his picks from
wow
before the season.
I'm impressed. That's awesome.
And he's leading all of us.
Keep up the good work. And in fantasy football from League 9, Fake TDs got 202 points. I got to be careful how I say fake TDs.
You really do. You really
fake
do.
TDs.
That's an FCC trap right there.
I said it right.
You
fake
did.
TDs.
You stuck the landing.
Some nice fake TDs, but still, if you're gonna have a real TD or a fake TD, all TDs are nice. Well, let's be honest. But still, 202 points for his team in League 9. That was the high of all the Daily Blender fantasy football leagues. Radio Ron says, I made my picks and successfully submitted them. Huh. Well, you might want to go check because you got a big old 0 on the day.
I think he was dipping into that Johnny Walker again.
Yeah. You got to probably not do your picks at happy hour, Ron.
Yeah.
Hour 2 is up next. It's Daily Blender on 1580 The Fanatic.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards, Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Hey, sports bettors, Jeffrey O'Brien here to tell you about my favorite sportsbook and casino, and that is BetUS.com. Football's back, so it's time to get in on the action. I endorse one sportsbook and casino, and that is BetUS. If you want a game plan to win this season, then check out BetUS. BetUS went large for you this season with a huge offer, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That's right, a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. BetUS offers value other sportsbooks simply don't offer. Gamblers insurance, crypto bonuses, and casino bonuses. Plus, they have all the products you need. Competitive odds, parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and prop betting. When you're ready to lay down your bet, give your bet an edge. Why not combine your sign-up bonus with knowledge? Get that knowledge with expert analysis, picks, and predictions on all major sports on their very own BetUS TV. Get started today at BetUS.com or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BetUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, so we got stuff to give away.
What?
Yes, we have tickets to give away.
Nice. What am I going to win?
Midget wrestling. You want to go?
Sure, why not?
Seriously? I'll give
You
you,
and
a
me?
pair.
You
I
and
got
me and
pairs to
Keon?
give away. Oh, I'm not going.
You're not?
No, I'm not going. No. Oh, no.
Well, then I don't want to go.
I don't want to be like in the back row and have one of these fellas chucked at me. You know what I mean? I don't, it might be fun for some, but this is, no, I don't think I'm going to this. It does sound fun.
I told you we can make a night of it. The three of us, we could
right.
go out and get a little
I'll think
something to
about it.
eat.
I'll think about it. But here's the deal. Saturday, September 30th. Oh my God, that's this Saturday, isn't it? That is this Saturday. Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
My schedule's free this Saturday.
Wait.
No, the 30th is Monday.
Wait a damn minute. Let me look at the ticket. Well, there's this very elderly fellow who arranges this stuff, and he very rarely gets anything right. Let me check.
Saturday is the 28th.
It's on Monday, the 30th.
Okay.
Because
Might
what
be
a
a
great
mistype.
night for an event. A Monday. Hold on.
Well, you wake up, you got a case of the Mondays. You've got some little people wrestling to look forward to later. I don't know. What do you want?
You did your best. Dick Whiskers. Well, here's the thing, everybody. I just realized that we better check this. I mean, the tickets do say Monday at 8 p.m. And this is happening at the Stratus Event Center on Indian School Road in Phoenix. And it's they call it the biggest little show on earth, micro wrestling. So they say micro because that's supposed to be better than saying midget. Who would you rather be known as, a midget or micro? Micro seems smaller.
Well, in Palm Springs, at the they have a ball team there, and they have every year they have Micromania.
I wonder if these are the same guys.
Midget wrestling.
It might be the same guys. Well, whatever the case, if you want tickets, we got tickets. And I'll even read off the thing as it is written, except for I will give you the correct information, at least according to the ticket, that says Monday, September 30th at the Stratus Event Center on Indian School Road. Get ready for a night of jaw-dropping action filled with laughter, high-energy performances, and unforgettable memories. These pint-sized athletes might be small in stature, but they pack a punch. I feel like I could take one. You know what I mean? I just feel like I could take one.
Not if they hit you in the groin.
Well, if I'm going to go around a bunch of ruffian midgets, I'm wearing a cup.
Well,
because that's just right at that.
I was a catcher. I wore cups.
Yeah.
They still hurt. It's still, they'll drop you.
I need some protection. Anyway, so if you're a wrestling fan, they say that you'll enjoy this. If you just want to see little guys chucked around, you'll enjoy that. And they say it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to go, let me know. Dick Whiskers, if you seriously want some tickets, I will give you tickets. All you have to do is, text me your email address and say that you want those tickets. I'll give them away. I got pairs to give away.
You should have them call into the station and go, Micromania.
Keon hates that idea. Keon doesn't want to sit there and have people yelling in the phone at him when he picks up.
I mean, we should do that on the air.
Interesting.
Have the fourth dimension do that on the air.
Huh. We're not some hacky FM music station, man. If they want the tickets, I'm just going to let them have it.
Just give it to them.
If they can actually use these tickets on a Monday night, they deserve them.
That's fair. That's a strong point.
Moiswin, he wants tickets. He says, I can take two of them at a time in a pool of baby oil. No, Moiswin. No, you're not getting any tickets. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see here. Ringless Joe says, surprising that after 3 weeks of football, Keon's team has the best record of the Fanatic crew. 2-1.
Wow.
And they're tied with the Eagles. They're tied with the Eagles at the top of the East.
I did not expect my team to be as bad as it is. I did expect the Cardinals could go one way or the other, but I'd be honest, I did not expect that the Commandos would start to come into a nice focus like that.
Me neither, if it means anything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm just as surprised as everyone else.
I'm of this school of thought. Let's let Keon have his day.
Okay. What, you mean like today?
Yeah. I mean, it comes around so rarely. You know what I mean?
That's the reason.
Keon, I mean, he's like me. Know, we're like brothers from different mothers because we both have this same complex of rooting for terrible teams.
Well, here's the thing. This could be habit forming. And if the Commandos keep playing well, then that's a nice year. All of a sudden, a pleasant surprise for Keon.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely will accept. I'm very I'm very optimistic about them. I just didn't think that they had the ability to do that 3 games into this new regime.
Well, don't jinx it.
I mean,
don't overthink it.
There, to me, there's no. I don't really believe in jinxes. I celebrate every win 100% because, like Randy said, they happen pretty rarely. So I'll just take all of them. You know,
all right, that's fair. That's fair. Baker's Cocky Hen says they're expecting a small turnout for the midget wrestling. Bruno Baller says Buffalo looks really good early on this season, but looking at their schedule, they will be tested.
Well, sure, they're going to be tested.
No, I mean, they got a tough schedule. Fish Tank, the man of the Harmon Solar NFL fan Pick'em Picks, he says, he says baseball wild card playoffs start today. What?
No. It's because his Braves take on the Phillies.
Oh, I see.
Or is it the Mets?
Yeah.
Is it the Mets?
I think it's the Mets.
It's the Mets, and it's a crucial series for both teams because both teams are vying for a wild card spot.
Are we crucially screwed?
No,
we're still loss to the Giants. That ain't great for our
Brandon Pfaadt is going tonight, which will
fat Brandon.
Yeah, I think we'll get a win here.
Let's talk some baseball here in a moment. Let me get caught up on the text line. T-Licious says Niners broke the Jags last season. They haven't recovered from that. Hefty Lefty says, back on the Bo Leave train. Brother. Bo Nix wins the game, and here comes Hefty Lefty. He says, completely unexpected win for the Broncos. Most likely they'll be back to reality this week when they lose to the Jets. Yay, football.
You just take the wins when you can get them.
Kiss the Cook says, dude, did you just say Spooky Ron likes to come from behind? Who said that?
Nobody said that.
Nobody
said that.
But he probably does. Walter Mellon says, it's Monday, Jeffrey, for the Monday Night Midget. Okay. Dick Whiskers, got you. I will set you up, my friend. So somebody actually wanted tickets. All right.
Mondays are generally short days for us.
Still not going. Seabass says Micromania over. Does that mean you want the tickets? I mean, if you're in town, you can have them. Scratch Me Because says, from personal experience, I recommend an ice hockey goalie cup. I've taken many a puck to the protected nuts. It's good advice. If I go to this thing, that I would wear that. Yeah. Beer Bob says Randy's all for Keon's team, except for this weekend when he wants to see a crushing of the Commandos.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to beat the dog out of the Commandos this week.
I mean, we'll see how it goes, man.
This weekend, I don't give a tinker's damn about the Commandos. Right now, I want my friend to live it up and enjoy.
And don't worry, I am.
Have a drink on me, Keon.
Well, thank you, Randy.
Okay, this is just a strange text. 8073 says, what are your thoughts on the outcome of Thursday Night Football this week? Well, it hasn't outcome yet.
Who's playing?
I don't even know.
That's
week 4, 8073. Or do you mean the last Thursday Night Football, the one we already had?
You need to clarify, but we got Cowboys Giants Thursday night.
Oh, geez.
We're glad to be off early.
Hey, the two teams fighting at the bottom of the division. I'm going to check that out.
Cowboys have to win that game, don't they?
Yes, they
Keon
do.
feels good to look down on them.
I know. From all the way up here, at the top of the NFC East.
Ringless Joe says, how are the Jaguars so bad that they've taken 8 straight losses? They just are. I don't know. I mean, hot seat for Mr. Peterson.
Very, very hot seat. And if you just look at that team on paper, there's too much talent for them to be as bad as they are. But they're terrible.
That's not good for Mr. Peterson. Let's see. 8073 says, oh, sorry, man. I mean, prediction for the Dallas and Giants this week. Low ratings. That's my I don't know, man. We just got finished with week 3. I haven't had a chance to think about that. I mean, okay, the Cowboys should completely destroy the Giants. They should. But the way that the Dallas Cowboys played the other night, or other day, I mean, I don't know. Probably should, right?
They should. but that has not shown up for the Cowboys just yet this season. And the Giants showed that they have a pulse when they were playing the Browns, and Daniel Jones was finding Malik Neighbors over and over again throughout the course of that game.
Yeah, the NFL is broken. It's drunk and it's stumbling.
It's broken.
It's out in the back by the dumpster taking a whiz. The NFL is out of control. I don't have any clue. This is the worst I have picked these 3 weeks. The worst I have picked. Sure, my Colts got a win. Sure, I got a fantasy football win. So I guess not all my football is completely broken, but it feels broken. Even when the Colts won, it feels wrong. So much is wrong with football. I can't even begin to tell you. Now you want me just from the hip to tell you about the Giants and the Cowboys?
On Thursday Night Football, which is notoriously hard to predict. I'm going to steal a beat the book stat from earlier today to back up your point about how crazy and drunk the NFL is this year. Through 3 weeks, underdogs of 5.5 points or higher are 13-2 against the spread, and 9 of those teams just won outright. See, the betting market doesn't know what to do. The experts don't know what to do. We here on this show don't know what to do. It's just a crazy season.
Well, I give up.
They're back-to-back record-breaking weeks of underdogs winning.
Yeah, I'm flying the surrender flag. I don't care. I will not win the picks contest this year. I'm not going to win the Daily Blender Fantasy Football Championship. I'm just going to do the best I can. That's all I can do is try to have good weeks now. I can't have anything good as far as a championship. My team stinks. My fantasy stinks. My picks stink. So now it's just, I don't know. I mean, hell, I got to win, even though it was ugly. I don't know. I'm not used to being this upset after a win. So 8073, welcome to the program. Another new texter says, "Hi, Daily Blender." Wait a minute. I'm not reading you. I have a feeling. You're not a real texter. I'm not going to read it. All right, I'll read it. I have a midget fetish. Can I get some midget wrestling tickets? Love the show, by the way.
You're not a real person.
My favorite texter is Moist One, and my favorite host is Randy because he's naughty.
I
don't believe you're real.
I'm with Jeffrey. I don't think it's a real person.
I think it's Moist One trying to get tickets because I told him I won't give them to him.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Why does he call me naughty?
Oh, you tend to be naughty. Happy Lefty says Fish Tank apparently knows what to do. Fish Tank here. Can I tell you why Fish Tank's in the lead of the picks contest? Because he was drunk when he filled out the thing. He was already drunk. He pre-drunked the NFL's drunkenness. He's just like, that's good. And then he's like, holy crap, it's working. Fish Tank, if you had some sort of a vision on things, please tell us how you were able to achieve this.
Did you see a lottery ticket in your vision? Could you get us those numbers?
Woof. He'd keep them for himself.
I mean, or just share what you know. That's all.
Kiss the Cook says, I understand those Monday tickets are half off. Is it just micro guys wrestling? What about micro women? Mixed tag team. He said, I'd go then. I don't know. Look it up. They didn't give me a website to share with you. So look up Micro Wrestling All-Star Showdown, and you tell me. Scratch Me Because says it's Tuesday, and the Cowboys are still giving up rushing yards to Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
That's true.
Sad.
Oh, my God.
Fish Tank says, sorry, dudes, I had to step away for a second. Did I win this week for the pick'em? Yes, you did. And you are in the lead of the whole damn thing right now, at least at this moment. He says, I picked the first 10 weeks thus far, and I'm just leaving them as is. Were you drunk when you came up with your picks, Fish Tank? I'm really hoping you were, because that's the only thing that would explain anything right now. Let's see. Hefty Lefty says, instead of a red carpet, do they use a yellow brick road for the wrestlers? Oh, brother. Oh, my God. 8626 says, I am a real person. Never met the Moist One, but I'd like to meet him someday.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. I do not believe you're real.
No,
you're going to have to you have to prove to us you're real. Or
and if you are real, you're making that connection on your own. We're not helping.
Yeah, this ain't the back page of the New Times, man.
You
this
figure
ain't
that out
misconnections.
Yeah.
Did you say the back page of the Nude Times?
New Times.
Oh, New Times. New Times.
N-E-W.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
CK says tub full of baby oil. Moist one would be at home while at a Diddy party, wouldn't he? Yes, he would be.
Yeah.
Let's see here. CK says Randy and Jeffrey. Randy and Keon. I heard Jeffrey was giving you 2 tickets each with parking passes to the Cards Commandos game.
Yeah, where did you hear that?
Yeah, that's funny because we haven't heard that.
You are incorrect. Ringless Joe says Trevor Lawrence is looking more like Jamarcus Russell.
No, he's not.
I don't get it.
He's saying that Trevor Lawrence is a bust. Jamarcus Russell looked like he never opened up his playbook. And you know why? Because he didn't. And the coaches proved it multiple times by asking him to watch the playbook or look at various plays and tell them what they wanted. And they'd give him blank things and he'd never look at it. This is not even close. It's not even close.
The Jet wants to know if the fish tank is a guy or a girl. He says, I mean, really, fish tank has referred to a girl. What are you talking about?
Fish tank is a guy.
He's always been a guy.
Fish tank has always been a guy. It's never changed.
Fish Tank says, let's say when I made those picks, I would not have agreed to a breathalyzer test. That helps me. That helps me make sense of the universe right now.
Well, because you've ever seen 2 drunk guys together actually make fairly decent decisions together? So the drunks are canceling each other out.
Hey, you know what?
That's my theory.
I just realized something. I might be able to text back the tickets. No, that didn't work. Hold on here. Oh, all right. I'll work it out in the next break. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. What are we doing?
Radio tickets
is in America.
Micromania
in America. Yeah.
Oh, it's just American radio, so we don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's fine. 888-368-1580. ASU Buddy says, "Is Mini Me wrestling? Mini Me dead? Did you know that Vern Troyer died years ago?
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, how come nobody told me? I have to.
It's a very small loss, but it's a loss. I mean, you know. No, he died of. I think he was. I think he might have been crushed by a woman. I'm not sure. Let me. Vern Troyer was his name. Why I remember that? No idea. He died back in 2018.
Oh man,
he was 2'8". And that's all I know. Does anybody know any? I mean, I would bet nobody has any.
I heard it was a very short disease, whatever it was that got him.
He died of alcohol overdose. He drank himself to death, literally, at the age of 49.
Well,
that's depressing to learn.
I don't think we need to have an memorandum for like a song in the background for somebody who died 6 years ago.
It's a little late.
Yeah.
The moment passed multiple times over.
8626 says, if Moist One's not available, I'd be interested in Fish Tank. Always had a thing for musicians who play guitar. Are you a girl?
What is happening?
I feel like it's the same phony as remember that Monkey Puncher. I feel like that was a fake one too.
Well, yeah. Because Monkey Puncher's like, yeah, I'll show up to your actual live remote, and then never did.
Moist One says, he took a little fall. No, wait, I'm thinking of Bob Saget. God. King Kitten says, of course micro wrestling has ladies, including their star, Bridget the Midget. I don't think that's true. I think somebody just made that up.
Wow.
Hefty Lefty says, this Daily Blender After Dark is really taking off.
It's something.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, rumor is Vern Troyer drank a 6-pack in one night. With his micro body, he couldn't handle it. I could check out. I wouldn't be surprised. Ringless Joe says Trevor Lawrence may look at his offensive playbook, but what good is it if he can't execute? Anybody can read a playbook.
Well, that's the thing, is that sometimes he does execute. You go back and you can't find 15 Jamarcus Russell plays where he looked like he belonged in the NFL. You could probably find 5 for Trevor Lawrence last night. The problem is he's not consistent.
We got to take a break. When we come back, now that I've finally cleared the text line, let's talk a little bit of baseball. Randy can calm my nerves about the Diamondbacks, but then we also have a bunch of random sports stuff to talk about, and we'll come back around to the NFL too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed a law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Ralph? Yeah, Neil. Why is that moving truck out front? And what are all these moving boxes doing here?
Haven't you heard? The Weekend Warriors are moving to Sundays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, we'll be the best pro football pregame show in the Valley.
I'll break down the Cardinals each week.
I guess I can break down the Cardinals' opponent each week. And we'll have a weekly segment with last-minute fantasy football advice from the king, Scott Engel. So what are you going to do, Ralph? I'm just going to be right all the time, like always. Whatever. It's the Weekend Warriors Football Sunday, starting in September at 8 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Hey, congratulations to the fish tank. He just texted me. He says, to be very clear, very clear, I actually got engaged this weekend. So
Hey,
I'm not available for
congratulations.
either gender at this time.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, how did you pop the question there, fish tank? Did you do it at a romantic dinner and you got down on one knee? Did you do it in a fun or funny way? Or did you just roll over and say,
yeah, we should probably make this official.
I mean, how did you do it? I'm just curious. I mean, there's no wrong answer as long as it works. Sounds like she said yes. I mean, or else he wouldn't be all happy. He says, I got engaged. He didn't say I attempted engagement. So let's see. No, he's not. But Baker's Cocky Hen says, seriously, though, Vern Troyer is still. Oh, Vern Troyer, yes. But what did I say the name was? The guy that mentioned the from the mini-me. No, that he's dead.
Yeah.
Why would you say he's not Baker's Cocky Hens? He says, "Oh, he's the quarterback for the Cardinals." Oh, I see where he's doing there.
Yeah. Okay.
Whistling Gerbil says, Robert backing out of his Raiders sweeping the Chiefs bet yet?
Who? Was it Robert in Surprise that said the Raiders were going to sweep the Chiefs this season? Somebody said that on the text line.
They're not sweeping a porch. They're so bad right now. Wranglish Joe says, I got the Tigers going to the World Series. What do you think of that, Randy?
It's not going to happen.
There was a moment in this season where it felt like it. Just
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
anytime
that's-
lately.
It's just like Kansas City winning Kansas City Royals winning a wild card. That's not going to happen either.
8626 says, is Ralph still alive or did COVID finally get him? No, I think his COVID got the flu. And then so he's been out for a while. He's been
his COVID
Yeah.
got the flu.
so he doesn't get vaccinated for anything, so it's bad.
Oh
So
boy.
anywho, hey, all right. So Randy, let's talk about the Dimebacks.
All right.
Let's talk about the current situation in regards to the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay.
Are we still okay?
Yeah, game and a half up on the Braves. The Braves and the Mets are playing in a crucial series as we speak. I believe they'll be
Game
playing
and a half
three.
don't seem like lots.
A game and a half is quite a bit because a lot of things have to happen. The Braves have to win, and the Diamondbacks have to lose. They lost last night 6-3. Their bullpen gave it up, but look, in the words of Jake McCarthy. After the game last night, look, that's baseball. We're not worried about it. We're not trying to press. That's just what happens in baseball. You lose some games, and we'll be back at it tomorrow, and we'll go get it. We'll go get them again. And with Brandon Pfaadt on the hill tonight, I fully expect the Diamondbacks to be there.
It's just a little jarring when you give up an inside the park home run.
Well, that happens, especially in big cavernous parks like the Bank One ballpark downtown Phoenix. You hit it in the right part of that ballpark, and you've got some wheels. You can make four bases easy. That's you hit it in one of the gaps, which is what happened. They hit one. Matt Chapman hit it right in the gap out there, and then you give up a couple of home runs. Conforto and Schmidt had solo shots. The Giants continued to win. They're winning ways. They're the ones that have all the pressure on them. The Diamondbacks don't. The Diamondbacks have to win and keep winning. That's all they have to do.
Big George says, red alert. Diamondbacks are not okay. They don't have the tiebreaker either against the Braves. So if we finish tied with the Braves will move on. No game 163 anymore, unfortunately.
Well, they are currently and remain so as of right now, Big George. So everybody calm down. They're in sole possession of the final wild card by a game and a half ahead of the Atlanta Braves. And if the Mets, who have had a tremendous season, by the way, remember the Mets were lowly and everybody was just beating them to death on a daily basis. And then all of a sudden they had some magical thing with the grimace there at the ballpark. McDonald's was sponsoring something, and the Mets have just caught fire and have remained after it all season long. They, at one point, were way behind the Diamondbacks. They have caught the Diamondbacks and passed them to secure the second wild card slot. So I'm not worried about this. Again, I'm not worried about this Diamondbacks team. This is a team that continues to grind it out. There's no pressure on them. The bullpen let them down, but this is the same bullpen that's also picked them up throughout the season. And we've got Brandon Pfaadt on the hill tonight. And tomorrow night, does that mean Zach Allen's going to go?
Yes, it does.
So
Merrill Kelly is showing up Friday against San Diego. And then after that, Montgomery and Rodriguez. But Randy, 5 games left.
Yeah.
How many can we lose and still be okay?
Well, that depends on what Atlanta does. If Atlanta loses today, we can lose today. And we still remain a game and a half ahead of the Braves. If Atlanta wins today, we have to win.
Too close. It is way too close.
It's a game and a half.
It was this close last year, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, the Diamondbacks actually lost the last game of the season and got help from the Cubs.
Oh, that's right.
So, like you just get in. That's the only thing that matters.
Get
it doesn't
into the
matter
tournament.
how.
That's the way you get it done.
We got hot, and then now we're lukewarm to cold.
I wouldn't say
Sure,
that.
kind of how it went last year too.
The Brewers series was a pleasant surprise that they won 3 out of those 4. That was a pleasant surprise. But dropping 2 out of 3 to the Rockies, what the actual bleep?
Well, remember I told you playing the Rockies, they have nothing to lose. They can play the part of the spoiler, and that's what they did. They came out and they played really relaxed ball. It was on their turf in Colorado, and they just simply beat us, and that's going to happen sometimes.
It's going to be
However,
5 stressful games.
The Diamondbacks have been on the gas all season long. They haven't given it up yet. I don't anticipate them giving it up. If I had to lay some money down, I'd lay money down. The Diamondbacks will end up getting that third wild card spot and moving along. The only problem there is you got to have money to bet it, and I don't have any money to bet.
Well, isn't that convenient?
No, it's convenient for me.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh,
just saying, you don't have to put any money on it. So.
Right.
5 games.
Yeah, five games. 5 games.
If
but
we
the
lose them, we're out. If we win them, we're in.
Well, like I said, I'll continue to say it. Just keep winning, man. Just play ball. Go out there and play ball like you have been all season long. Just go out there and keep winning.
We got our 1, 2, 3. Fat Brandon, Zach Gallen, and Merrill Kelly pitching in the next couple of nights. I hope that's a good thing. I don't know about this Montgomery and Rodriguez.
Well, we're 5-5 in our last 5-5 in our last 10 games. So the Diamondbacks there's no reason to start panicking now. They're not in like some sort of a slump.
I'm not panicking. I'm just a little bit
If they
wary.
were 2-8, well, I would be worried. They're not. They're playing 500 ball right now.
Lacrosse guy says, Keon, nice win last night. Great job.
Thank you.
Sir Drives a Lot says, hey, just get in, Diamondbacks.
Yep. That's all they got to do.
Ringless Joe says, Tigers got good pitching. They can go, Randy.
The Tigers have great pitching. Are the Tigers going to capture that wild card spot? I don't think so.
Raven Kid says Diamondbacks do have fat on the mound tonight, but Giants have their ace, Logan Webb, on the mound. So it's going to be a tough game tonight.
It's probably going to be a tough game, yeah. And the Giants want to beat the Diamondbacks. They don't want to see the Diamondbacks go to the playoffs. If the Giants aren't going to the playoffs, they don't want to see the Diamondbacks go to the playoffs.
Moist
and that's the way it is.
Tigers are in more than likely. So a lot of people are positive on the Tigers right now.
Well, they are in second place behind the Guardians in that Central Division of the American League. And they do have quality pitching, and they are playing good ball right now. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You got to beat out the Orioles. You got to beat out the Mariners. I don't know. A lot of ball to play.
You want to hear Fish Tank's engagement story?
Sure.
Yeah.
He says, we went to the Orange Sky, a super fancy restaurant at Talking Stick. Got myself a $60 or something bison steak. That was fantastic. Oh, I don't know. I've never had a bison steak.
Me neither. I've had a bison burger, but never a steak.
Is it anything like buffalo?
Don't be a child. It's nothing like buffalo. Anyway, he says it was fantastic. Had a couple of Coors Lights served in the fanciest glass I've ever consumed one from. Then I dropped to the knee. She said yes, and then I surprised her with about 30 of our friends and family. Once we got out of the elevator, we gambled until 3 a.m. I think she was happy with the surprise, and we had a ton of fun. I kind of killed it on the craps to pay for our room and dinner. Oh, good for you. So it was for free.
Wow. Essentially, yeah. That's pretty cool.
So do you think she saw it coming? Do you think she kind of knew what you had in mind? Or was it a complete and absolute utter surprise? Boy, nice move having the friends and family all there to share that moment soon after. But that is some titanium testes that you would be like, so sure she'll say yes. You invited her friends and family to be there. Because she might have said no, and then her friends and family would have been like, kind of give her a nod like, good call.
and then you got to run to the bathroom and try to find everybody in the hallway and go, no,
go back.
Ixnay on or prize say you can't do it.
That's no titanium testes award goes to Fish Tank for that.
Well done.
Hefty Lefty says, what cut of bison? Ribeye? Congrats on the engagement, Fish Tank. Moist One says, I believe the Tigers will lose out right away, though. Try being a Mariners fan. I'm one loss away from turning my attention to the hockey season already. Big George says, good news, though. Got some good news. Padres are playing the Dodgers in the next 3 games. And if they win all 3, Padres will be in the driver's seat to the NL West. Wouldn't that be nice to see the Dodgers get dethroned?
Yeah, well, they're only 3 games back, so that series is going to be one for the ages, as they say.
Big George, I want everybody to lose except for the Diamondbacks.
Well,
if there was a way to make that happen.
I don't know if you can because the Mets and the Braves are playing each other.
I didn't say it had to make sense. I just want everyone to lose, but the Diamondbacks.
I think if you had a preference, it would be the Braves.
My preference is everybody.
Because
Diamondbacks.
the Mets are ahead. The Braves are the ones who are going to take your spot if they win and you lose.
Can I give you a piece of information that made me laugh?
Sure.
Totally unrelated to anything we're talking about.
I'm here for it.
SpaceX flights emit more CO2 in the United States than Tesla's save. I saw like Elon Musk, you son of a bitch.
I can't believe that. Then what's the point? What? What is the actual purpose of an electric car?
Yeah. And then the other part is all the pollution created in creating the electric car.
Well, that's the other thing too. Creating the car, and then of course you plug your car into your wall. What do you think powers that? Probably coal in most places. Like you're just not winning here. You're just not winning.
Kind of give up, I guess. Solar panels. That's it. Solar.
The only reason to buy a Tesla is if you think they're really cool, because that's it. There's no.
Listen, I would buy a Tesla if I had full solar capacity and I didn't have to pay for the electricity. Then I feel like a Tesla or any other electric car. Well, I kind of like them electric Hummers. Oh, $100,000.
They look cool.
They look cool. I was like, can you get an engine in that? But anyway,
I don't know how they drive, but they look awesome.
I do want to ask. And I won't out you. I will not out you. But I want to know, do you drive a Tesla Cybertruck? Is anybody on the text line? Because I've seen a lot more of them on the roads lately.
Cybertrucks just look hilarious to me. Like that's not even a car I take seriously.
Well, when they're dirty, they do. They look like a dirty dumpster. They just look like
just a dirty dumpster.
I drove by one that needed a wash, and I'm like, ew. I can almost smell the rotten, banana peels and stuff.
Just added wheels to the dumpster behind your local bar and grill. There's no need for that.
But here's the thing, I'm not going to out you. I'm not going to mock you directly, and I'm curious if you have one. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you feel like it was the biggest mistake of your life, or you think, man, this thing is awesome? The heck with all the haters. This thing is a lot of fun. I just don't know anybody who owns one or drives one. So I am curious. So if you want to clue us in, I'm curious about it.
Does Last Optimist drive a Tesla? Because I remember I posted some story on the Twitter about, a Tesla failing some basic level of safety inspection. And then Last Optimist went on a tear and schooled me on the actual safety record of Tesla cars for like 5 posts longer than I was willing to read. Appreciate the extra information. But if you're going to go to bat that hard for a Tesla, I hope you have a Tesla.
True. Some people just like to fight on Twitter. You know that.
Yeah. And I just wasn't willing to fight. Like if you've got the data and I don't, you win. Like that's it. I don't argue with facts.
Fish Tank says, for whoever asked, it was Hefty Lefty, was a $68 North American Bison New York strip. I like how he knows the exact price right off the top of his head. That's just like, that's the most expensive steak I've ever bought. I'm remembering it.
Yeah, I'm going to know everything about it for 10 years.
He won't remember what she wore, but he'll remember that's a $68 cut of meat.
You're damn right it was delicious.
He says she knew it was coming, but not exactly how or when. I know you guys know me a little bit, and I do seem like the kind of guy who takes my gal out to a $230 meal wearing a sports coat too often. I think what he's saying is, it probably telegraphed it a bit.
Yeah,
she knew it was coming. She just didn't know everyone else was going to be there. He said.
But did you wear your Dolphins jersey inside the sport coat? That's what I want to know.
I bet there was a dolphin patch in there at least.
Had to be.
Good call.
Raven Kid says Fish Tank winning the Daily Blender Pick'em contest currently and just got engaged. Dude is winning at life.
Yeah,
congrats.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. Ringless Joe says Tigers were plus 2,500 when I bet them. With them beating the Rays today, they've moved now to plus 1,500. Man, I would love to see you win that bet, except for the Diamondbacks. So
yeah.
Moise one says Castle Megastore has a good deal on electric Hummers. Really not what I'm looking for, but thank you, Muslim. Appreciate that. Anyways, we got to take a break. When we come back, bunch of random sports stuff. So feel free to be as random as you want. It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
It's kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Is this peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone. Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
It's the sound of the fight songs, the excitement of the rivalries. It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls. It's the national rankings. College football is coming. Listen for it on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Speaking of the college football, I heard about this, but Reggie Bush is suing the NCAA. He's suing the USC. He's suing Pac-12 for NIL compensation during his college career. Is this a bit much? Because here's the thing, and I get it. I mean, give him back his Heisman Trophy. But back then, back in 2006, there's rules against that stuff, I mean,
yeah, I think that, and because he's not the only person suing, he's not alone in this. I don't know if it was a class action with a bunch of guys or if it was just a bunch of other former players who decided to sue the NCAA and their former school. But the argument that they're making is that it should never have been legal for you to tell me I couldn't make money somewhere else. Why?
Well, back then at the time,
those were the rules, but they're arguing that the rule is wrong.
You realize this will open up a floodgate of other people filing the same stuff, and there's not enough money on the planet now to make all that right through the entire history of the NCAA.
They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do to settle this, because it does feel like the momentum is on the side of the people suing right now, just the way that the legal process has been shaking out. And it also just kind of seems like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to show up and say, hey, I should have been paid too. But you're certainly a Reggie Bush. You've got a very, very strong argument that you were making that school a lot of money and you didn't see a nickel.
Well, it'll be interesting. This is going to get very muddy and very ugly and very confusing. I mean, I get it.
The time to handle this was then.
Yeah.
It's just the story of the NCAA on repeat.
I get it. And what's fair is fair, but I don't know. Sometimes you just, I mean, how far back is too far back?
I don't know. And that'll be up to a judge to decide.
There's going to be some legal issues with something that happened almost 20 years ago. So there has to be a statute of limitations on some of these things. You're going to go back to, like 19. When did the NCAA come into existence? You're going to go that far back? So, I mean, college sports, amateur status has been a thing since probably the 1800s, if not 1900s.
Yeah, and the NCAA was founded in 1906.
Okay, so
like you can't go back to 1906.
And if they have that rule, that means that other colleges, other amateur status type thinking even existed before that. So how far back is too far is the question. And I'm not saying Reggie Bush shouldn't get what he gets. I mean, power to you, man. You got hosed, and now things are being made right. How far back do you make things right? If someone's alive, what about their families if they're dead? I mean, are we going to go back to 18 something?
I don't know. And what do you do about schools that that did skirt the rules, like SMU notably got the death penalty, that they got their entire athletic department closed down for a few years. And by the time they got back on track, they were never close to being the same program ever again. They were a juggernaut originally. And so what do you do with players like that, where our college careers were completely disrupted because of this rule? I have no idea how far back you go or what you look at. And some of these guys do just want to send a message and hurt the NCAA. It's not even about the money and making it now. It's about continuing to hurt this institution they don't like.
Well, here's the thing. At some point, if the institution dissolves, you have nobody to sue. So you start coming at them with all these lawsuits, they might just go, whoop, can't sue, it don't exist, bye-bye.
I don't think that that's a loss for some of these folks. Oh, no more NCAA? Yeah. All right, cool. We sued you out of existence? Great.
Hamilton Porter says, so as a Michigan fan, does this mean that they'll let the Fab Five off the hook?
That's the thing, is I agree. I don't know how far back you go with it, or what a judge would decide is the statute of limitations on that, or what actually constitutes as fair. Because if you end up having to go back to 1985 to pay players, what stops you from going to 1970? What stops you from going to 1960? Like, at some point, you have to be able to say, this is the line. We were wrong before. We're going to have to be correct now, but you can't go back and get everybody paid.
Beer Bob says, speaking of random stuff, I just saw on TV that Brett Favre announced that he has Parkinson's disease. Yeah, he was, again, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt because of the timing of the announcement. He's before Congress, and he's I didn't have nothing to do with trying to take money from welfare people. And, let me tell you something. I got Parkinson's. And I mean, it wasn't how he said it.
Now it'd just be really mean if you actually took me to task.
Just it's the timing is shaky. I'm just
like, it could be true, but it's also like, why'd you choose right then and there to say that?
Yeah, I think he's a dirtbag. I think he's a complete dirtbag. But all right, for whatever reason, he was testifying to Congress. Okay. Fish Tank says, did you guys see that Trevor Lawrence became the first player in NFL history to throw the ball to someone who died because Damar Hamlin picked him off? Oh, yeah, we talked about that earlier. Many jokes were made earlier, Fish Tank. You just got to You got to be on time, man. Ringless Joe says, I can win the bet even if the Diamondbacks win the World Series. It's just for the Tigers to go to the World Series, not even win it. So if it's the Tigers D-backs World Series, I'm already a winner, even if they lose.
So the question you have to ask yourself is, can the Tigers beat the Yankees? Can the Tigers beat the Orioles? Can the Tigers beat the Guardians? Those are the questions you got to answer.
It's going to be tough.
I hope so, because I hate the Yankees. That's the only part. I don't care about anything else.
I mean, I said it. I said it before. I seriously believe that the Orioles are a contender for the World Series and the Phillies.
Well, right now the Orioles 4 games ahead of the world in the American League. So I guess you had something there, don't you?
We'll see.
Some inside information you didn't share with us. That's all right.
No, just a lot of baseball.
Now I know how you afford your opulent lifestyle with inside information you don't share with your friends.
Opulent.
Okay. That's right.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
Keon, do you have a giant sword on your wall? I don't. I don't have a sword on my wall.
I also don't. Yeah.
Opulent. Billy Ray from Avondale says, if we can file a lawsuit for what we should have gotten in the past, I am owed my 40 acres and a mule, says Billy Ray.
Well,
yep.
Many such cases.
It's a lot of people owed more than that. Hamilton Porter says, as a Tigers fan, I just can't wait for them to be the team to christen the White Sox the worst team in the history of baseball. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Are they playing the Sox? Is that how they're ending the season?
I think he just wants to see them at the bottom of the standings with 36 wins, wipe out the history of the Detroit Tigers, especially like right now. Things are so bad.
Okay.
Hang in there, White Sox. You're only 46 games back.
With 5 games to play.
You can do it. Mr. Wilbur says, random question. What blind, worthless, good-for-nothing moron did my NFL picks this past weekend? Well, unless you handed him over to a friend who is blind, I'm thinking you. He says, that was terrible. Who did? If I find who it was, if I find you, I will hunt you down. So that would be worth watching.
That would be worth watching. I would recommend not going anywhere near a mirror.
Get somebody to, well, he couldn't see it anyway. just doubt he has one. There's no
sort of like Dracula. He couldn't see himself.
Yeah, just no reason. Hamilton Porter says, he says, nope. We end the season. Tigers playing the White Sox.
Oh boy.
Take them to school, man.
I hope you sweep them.
So Keon, let's
yes.
He's still huddled in the corner laughing.
I don't know if I want to start this conversation just yet. I want to talk about Arch Manning, but not yet. I feel like we need more time. Hey, by the way, the Earth is getting a new mini moon for. We have a visitor for a short while for a couple months. There's going to be another moon up there, small, like little teeny thing. It's a mini moon.
You don't say.
Asteroid is coming into our orbit, and then it's going to go. But while it's up there, you might see it. It's a little mini moon. That's all. I mean, I really don't have any thoughts about it other than, well, at least it's not taking us out like the dinosaurs.
Yeah, as long as it passes by. Don't visit.
How long is it going to be in our rotation?
2 months. So
wow.
It's like a relative, and they're like, hey, can I come stay with you? You're thinking, oh, for a weekend. Yeah, sure. Okay. How long are you going to be here? A couple months. Oh, God, dude. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Just try not to bump into anything in orbit while you're here. Try not to hit any satellites or anything.
I mean, think about that. We'll have 2 moons in orbit with us for a couple of months.
But I'm not sure.
That's going to be cool.
If you can see it. I think you can see it. Should be able to see it.
I mean, yeah, if it's reflective at all, which why would you call it a second moon if it's not?
I'm confused. Some of the videos have it as this round looking COVID cell thing. And then other videos have it looking like this giant rock turd that's like along a poo. It's it's a space poo moon. So I don't know what it actually looks like.
Did you say Space Poo Moon?
Yeah, Space Poo Moon. It's in space. Looks like a giant poo, but it's a moon. So Space Poo Moon.
And they're calling it a moon, yet it looks like a poo.
It's like a temp.
Okay.
The temp moon.
Temp moon.
I don't know. I don't know why we're allowing this. Not
What do
even
you
that
suggest?
big.
You suggest we just blow it up?
I think we should practice on it. You know, listen. You saw the movie with the Bruce Willis and Armageddon, and
yeah.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
saw that.
we need to pretend like it's the real thing. Blow the hell up.
There you go.
Oh, geez. Look at all these texts. Ah, crap. Well, all right. We'll pick it back up when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. And 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. So when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did. I got the job. I can't believe it.
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White.
Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And boy, I just blinked, and all of a sudden, there goes all the texts there.
That's what happens, isn't it? You just kind of like all of a sudden they're there.
Well, I'm just going to get through them, then we'll start up talking some other stuff.
All right.
Ringless Joe says, Mr. Wilbur's picks are the best example of the blind leading the blind.
Oh.
Wilbur says, Keon, was that a fat joke? Do you want me to stand in front of one of those circus mirrors that makes me look fatter? Damn, you first ripped on me for being blind, and now you're calling me fat?
Uh-oh.
No comment.
How does he know what a circus mirror does? Hamilton Porter says, rest in peace to the A's playing their last game in Oakland tomorrow. Did you see that letter from the owner of the A's?
No.
Oh, my God. Just one giant lie.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was insulting. If you were an A's fan reading that, it probably made everything worse. It probably just made things worse. It was one of, I mean, the letter was just also like, oh, we tried. I mean, it was like, oh, come on, man. Come on. You want me to read some of this to you?
Oh,
This is
please.
bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To our Oakland Athletic fans, this upcoming series with the Texas Rangers will be the final game of the A's' storied 57 years in Oakland. And while the A's previously played in Philadelphia and Kansas City, Oakland has been home for the greatest era in the franchise's more than 123-year history. So right there, you know what he's doing. He's saying, we've moved before. It's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It happens. This just happens. Okay. So he lists all the championships and the pennants and all that stuff. And he then mentions some guys from the past. And he says, he says, we've had it all. And that, I know, is what makes our departure so very hard. Does it? You've been hoping, dying, working, praying, doing whatever you can for this. You can't wait to get out of Oakland, you liar.
Exactly. Imagine
That's
breaking
true.
up with somebody like that. Like if you were like, of all the relationships I've been in, this one is my favorite, which is naturally why I'm leaving. How's that going to go over?
It gets worse.
Oh boy.
He talks about how the A's are part of the fabric of Oakland, the East Bay, and the entire Bay Area. When Lou Wolf and I bought the team in 2005, our dream was to win world championships and build a new ballpark in Oakland. Over the next 18 years, we did our very best to make that happen. Did you?
They really didn't spend money.
They kept asking Oakland, one of the poorest communities, to build them a brand new multi-billion-dollar, not just stadium, but also
come on, poor people. Stop being poor.
You had a general manager who had to figure out how to make moves with so little money. They made a movie about it. That's not good. That's not trying.
Bastards.
That doesn't seem like you were trying your best for 18 years.
Oh, he says over the next 18 years, we did our very best to make it happen. We proposed and pursued 5 different locations in the Bay Area. And despite mutual and ongoing efforts to get a deal done for the Howard Terminal project, we came up short. And he says, only in 2021, after 16 years of working for this, blah, 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 did we begin to explore taking the team to Vegas. Now, here's where it gets really thick. There are millions of dedicated and passionate A's fans in Oakland and around the world. Countless dedicated staff members and Oakland Coliseum employees have poured their hearts in this team. Yeah, you just unemployed these people, by the way. He says, and their efforts have meant so much to our community. They ain't meant crap to you, did they? I know there is a great disappointment, even bitterness, though I wish I could speak to each one of you individually. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard.
Might be the biggest lie yet.
I can tell you this from the heart. We tried. Staying in Oakland was our goal. It was our mission, and we failed to achieve it. And for that, I'm genuinely sorry. Looking ahead, I hope you join our beloved A's as we move towards this amazing journey. I hope we will see you again supporting the green and gold, and I hope we will make you proud. You never did, John. You never did in 20 years. You never, ever did.
Translation, we're leaving you poors behind and going to Vegas, but if you can make it, we'd love to see it.
Yeah, if you can afford a plane ticket, we'll see you in Vegas on the Strip.
He should have put this in through like AI. Should have had AI write it. because it would have been better than what he just wrote.
It would have been more sincere.
I mean,
That was just so bad.
I feel bad for the community of Oakland, but I mean, to be fair, they weren't able to capture that lightning in a bottle when the A's had that amazing run back in the 90s. That's when they should have struck for a new deal. Because
90s?
then, yeah,
These guys didn't own it in the 90s.
Well, in the 90s is when they should have worked on a new facility to get this team moved out of the old Coliseum. I mean, the Coliseum is a rat hole, man. I mean, it has hosted some great games. I mean, John Madden coached football there. Right? The A's have won World Series there. The history in that stadium is wonderful, but so was Candlestick Park. And you see what happened with the 49ers. I mean, they moved. Now, economically speaking, we're talking about two different variables of two different communities. And Oakland they didn't have that kind of money to lay out. And the ownership group for the A's just was not willing to punch a bunch of their money into this pot to see if they could get a new facility done.
So as bad as the A's have been owned, Oakland has been basically made worse and worse. So it's two separate problems, but still don't act like you didn't want the hell out of Oakland. Yeah. Don't act like that. Listen, you know what? When the Raiders left, that you never heard any of this from the Chucky doll.
Because they were just honest about it. We want to go to Vegas. Maybe
this noise, we out.
Either we thought Oakland was bad or we think Vegas is better. But either way, that's where we're going. And see y'all later. You don't have to lie to people. They know. They're aware of what's going on. By the way, Randy, to your point about times where they could have asked for more money, they finished first in the AL West in 2012. That was a pretty strong A's team as well.
Yeah.
Ringless Joe says, until Oakland fixes its crime problem, it'll just keep losing teams. I think they're out of teams, right? There's no more teams.
Well, Golden State technically.
No, they moved across the bay. They're in San Francisco now. Really.
Right, but they're technically in Oakland.
They're
Oakland
Golden
team.
State. They're not even the Oakland Warriors.
Right.
They're
But
Golden State Warriors.
I mean, technically, they're a Bay team.
Just on the other side of the on the side of the bay with more money.
Side.
Right.
The lower crime side, I guess. And Ringless Joe says, until Oakland fixes its crime problem, it'll just keep losing these teams. I have a strong feeling that was the major reason the Raiders left. Crime deters fans from buying tickets to games and taking their kids. No one wants to worry about their safety when they're going to a game.
Which I think is fair, but don't sit there and tell people we didn't want to go. That you, as an organization, for whatever reason, whether the reasons are good or bad, if you're saying crime is stopping you from making more money, I think we can all understand that. Then just be honest about it, or don't write the letter at all. You don't have to lie to people.
Just go. Tioas says, wouldn't you also leave Oakland for Vegas? Can't blame the owner. You can blame the owner for the fact he never invested in the team, and you can blame the owner for the fact that he's lying sack of bleep. Teacher lady says, I was talking with Mr. Wosley, the astronomy and science teacher, and he was telling me that this second moon will only be around for a few months and we won't even be able to see it. So I'm not too worried about it.
Oh, never mind then.
More worried about what I can't see. Sir Drives a Lot says, just got back in the car. Space poo in orbit? What? Yeah, you have to go back and listen to the podcast.
It's a context thing.
Hefty Lefty says, that's no moon. That's a space station. Silver Pop says, mini moon. Is that Kyler Murray showing his ass? Well, made me laugh. Fish Tank says, I'd like to have the record show that when I did all my picks blind, I did not do them the same way Mr. Wilbur did. No, we knew that. You may be blind drunk.
Yeah.
Lost Toby, is that a real hat from the A's? It's like an echo of the A's, and it just spells out ass. That's not real. That's not. They can't be real.
I doubt that strongly, but I like that hat.
You should have it. Kyle G says, to the A's owner, F you. At least the NHL took the team away from the scummy owner when the Coyotes left. Major League Baseball is broken from the top down. Suffering A's fan says the Coliseum was a fantastic place in the early 90s until the Raiders came back and destroyed it.
Yeah, well,
it's a good point. I'm sorry for your loss, Suffering A's fan.
I can't disagree with it.
You going to stay an A's fan, Suffering A's fan? Now that they're in Vegas, are you hanging with your team?
I have good news about this hat.
It's real.
It's a real hat.
Ass hat is real.
Ass hat is real, as reported by USA Today.
It's a real ass hat.
It's an actual ass hat that exists in the world.
Wow. And the fact that it came from the Oakland A's makes all the sense in the world.
It's very fitting.
Ringless Joe says, how did Andy Dalton look like Joe Montana on Sunday? Was Bryce Young really that bad? Starting to maybe look that way.
Bryce Young had a weak arm, and they knew that when they drafted him, but there are lots of things he did well. But look at some of the throws Dalton was making. Bryce Young can't make some of those throws, man. And it sucks that they never supported him knowing what his weaknesses were.
Lost Toby says, yeah, it's real. Hook'em Hottie says, I saw that hat on Twitter. Has to be real. Fish Tank says, everything I've seen that is ass hat is legit.
I just don't think the USA Today would lie to me about that particular thing. That's
no,
a real hat.
USA Today won't lie to you. They will tell you the truth at a 6th grade level. That's how that.
Yeah, they condescend to you a lot. Yeah, they're talking down to you the whole time.
Suffering A's fan says, I wish I could dump them, but what kind of fan would I be if I didn't stay true, while we're in the toilet? Suffering A's fan, if the team leaves, it goes someplace else.
I think it's fair
have
game
to follow.
Yeah, I think it's fair game.
Maybe it's time for you to become a Diamondbacks fan. We were in the World Series last year and struggling right now again in the wild card. So
we're not struggling.
If you live here, it's not a bandwagon deal. If you live here, it's
That's
fair.
Yeah.
You might as well start following the home team. We'll change your text or nickname too. Something that reflects that.
Struggling D-backs fan.
Won't be suffering anymore. We're trying to end their suffering. I'm trying to Kevorkian his. Okay, maybe that wasn't the right.
So,
Yeah,
probably not good. No.
Silver Pop says, if you buy 6 of those hats, would that be considered a 6-pack of ass hats?
It would be.
It would be a 6-pack of ass
officially.
Hats. Officially. I like it. Ringless Joe says, I'll take Andy Dalton over Joe Burrows all day this coming Sunday. I wonder how many people are running out and getting Andy Dalton and off the waiver. Just a bit premature, I
just
think.
a little bit. Teams start to get used to what Andy Dalton is again. See if you still believe that in 2 weeks.
I don't know. He looked pretty good. He was putting the ball on the money.
He was.
Yeah.
That's an experienced NFL quarterback, which, yeah, shocker. He looks better than the guy that's played 18 games with no support.
Okay, so hold on.
I can't imagine why.
Hold on a second. Now, here is why. I don't think Andy Dalton is suddenly amazing. Let me tell you why. Let's say you're supposed to be watching film, and they're like, well, what are you going to do? We'll just watch some film on Andy Dalton. You watch that film, and the consensus is in the meeting room, don't worry about
it. Which is a bad way to go about it in the meeting room.
You're watching the film, you're like, there's nothing we need to worry about here.
It did look like they were completely unprepared to defend Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Which is unacceptable.
I think they did. They were just like, don't worry.
Yeah, it's going to look the same.
Sir Drives a Lot says his name is Suffering A's fan. Of course, they're going to stay with him. Yeah, his or her. I think it's a he. Fish Tank says, Suffering A's fan. I've been a Coyotes fan for a long time, but I'm not following them to Utah. Also, did you see the first goal of the year was on themselves?
Yeah, it was
same old Coyotes, but in Utah.
It was an own goal.
That makes me feel better somehow.
I don't know why.
It's in the record books. The first ever goal for Utah.
That's amazing. Wow, is that your first one? Wow. That feels good.
Just a great historic moment for them.
Like I could give you some Diamondbacks trivia from the first year of existence. So like Travis Lee hit the first Diamondbacks home run. I think it was Devin White had the first Diamondback stolen base. Utah is gonna. They have the proud of saying, our first goal was an own goal.
We shot ourselves in the foot.
We scored on ourselves.
Big George thinks we need to get Ralph one of them ass hats. I think we should. We should get one now while we can. He looks like he's got a big head, so he's like extra large, double extra large for his head. Doesn't he look like he has a giant noggin? Or is that just?
No.
I don't know if that's just the camera.
I don't
or
know.
what.
No, I don't
I have
think
to
he's got
find
a
out from
giant
his
head.
wife how big his noodle is there. Suffering A's fan says, now if the A's had gotten rid of the logo and colors, that would have been the end for sure. You're in love with the colors and the logo?
Well, I mean, it's been very unique since the 70s.
Suffering A's fan says, I'm allowed to wish the Diamondbacks well, especially since they're in the National League. But considering I used to go to doubleheader A's games by myself at 13 years old back in like 96 for Dollar Wednesday, it's hard to break the loyalty. All right, man. You do you. Suffering A's fan continues on as an A's fan. But now they're in Vegas. You can go have some fun times and seeing your team play there.
Technically, they're not in Vegas. Technically,
They will be.
They're in Sacramento, I believe. Is it Sacramento?
Momentarily. They'll be there. Ringless Joe says sometimes the most unexpected things happen. If I told you that Sam Darnold would be 3-0 and Joe Burrow would be 0-3 before the season started, I'd have been institutionalized. He's not wrong.
That's true. You would have come if you came from the future with that information. We would have just called you crazy and shipped you off somewhere. Just
you're not from the future.
You're from a mental institution, and we should take you back.
Yep.
So Arch Manning got his first start. Arch Manning gave himself a C+ grade, Keon. He says having so many playmakers around you definitely brings up the comfort level. A bunch of different receivers caught balls tonight. Just getting them in space and having them make plays is huge. But I didn't hear why he gave himself a C+. Now, do you agree? C+, or did you think he did better, like a B, or do you think he did worse, like a D? Where would you put the performance on the first start of Arch Manning at Texas?
I think that C+ is a really good grade. Very self-aware of him because there were ups and downs. Like the ups were very nice. Like there's just ripping off long touchdown passes. He's keeping the offense just absolutely cruising up and down the field. And again, you're playing Louisiana Monroe, so some of these mistakes that you make don't blow up in your face as badly as if you were playing a better team. But the C+ grade, I think, for just the highs and lows, he did have a couple interceptions in the game, but he also had a couple of touchdowns. And for the most part, he made very good decisions and got the ball in the hands of playmakers. And I just think he's a very smart football player. But he had some mistakes. There were some lows. So I think a C+, or a C is a fair grade.
So Eli and Peyton back in their day, did they struggle at this point? Were they C+ when they were playing in college, or did those guys sort of show up as college superstars? I'm just trying to look at the trajectory of Arch Manning versus the trajectory of Eli and Peyton. Now, I know it's going to be probably a different picture because college football is not necessarily the same as it was back then, but wasn't that long ago.
I mean, for Peyton, it kind of was because
30 years ago.
Yeah, because Peyton was playing in like 97, 96.
Right. He was in college about 25, 30 years ago.
But yeah, Peyton was a little bit different. Peyton felt like he showed up a superstar. I just think that Peyton's kind of a one of one. There just isn't another guy like that. Yeah, but his freshman year was 94, and he basically just showed up and started burning everything to the ground. He did have bad games though. Like there were teams that kind of figured him out. He had his fits sometimes against Alabama. Like there were moments, but like for the most part, no. Peyton was pretty damn good from the beginning.
Except for, and really his rookie year was not his fault.
Yeah,
with the Colts,
not fully his fault, but he did throw some passes that Marshall Faulk was on the roster at the time. Like, why are you throwing it there? That was open in college. Peyton, it's not open in college anymore because it's not in college anymore. You're a pro. You've got to figure out where you can and can't put the ball. I do think that with Eli, he took a little bit more time to get going.
So Arch Manning and Eli Manning, those trajectories seem similar.
I think Arch is ahead of where Eli was.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Eli was much worse coming in, but when he got going, you started to see the football IQ show up, and Eli's making some plays that other college players at that time just were not making. Arch can do that, and I think that that's a good reason why I think he's probably keeping this job.
Well, let me ask you. Go ahead, Randy.
I was just going to say, if Quinn Ewers is out again this week, this is going to be a good test for Arch Manning because they're taking on Mississippi State. I mean, they're going to be at home. But then the week after, it's the Texas-Oklahoma game, and that will be a real test.
That is the test. If you can do it in that game,
yeah,
you've got the ability to do it in any game because it's never going to be higher pressure. It's never going to be a game that is more watched on that schedule by that fan base and every other, fan base in the conference.
And the week after, it's number 2 Georgia.
Yeah, like you've got some tests that are coming up against some really good defenses. Georgia obviously, but Oklahoma too has a really good defense. So those are some moments to figure out what Arch is at this current moment in time.
Oh, here's a text from totally not Jeffrey O'Brien. Is he eligible for the draft this year? Do you think he might enter the draft?
He's not eligible for the draft this year.
Okay.
So Arch Manning cannot enter the draft.
I was just asking. I don't know who that was. But
whoever that was, just so you know.
My painful experience. Anyway, all right, fine. We got to take a break. Let's come back and talk some more random sports stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball heading into its final week of the regular season. The LA Dodgers continue to be the best bet to win this year's World Series. The Dodgers are plus 300 to capture the crown, but they haven't won the division yet. They lead San Diego by 3 games with 6 games remaining in the NL West. The Yankees are the best bet out of the American League at plus 425, the same odds as the Philadelphia Phillies, who on Monday captured the NL East for the first time since 2011. The Astros on top of the AL West are plus 850, Baltimore plus 1,000. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, sports fans, we've got exciting news. Beat the Book is now on daily from 2 to 3 p.m.
That's right. Just before the blender, we're going to explore the world of betting along with you on the text line.
Send us your betting comments and questions. Speaking of which, Dylan, what do you think if I throw down $20 on my Washington Commanders to win the Super Bowl? They're 120 to 1.
I don't know about that one, Keon.
You got a better idea, Mr. Beat the Book?
Of course I do. Just tune into The Fanatic. You've always got better ideas.
So join us for Beat the Book, now at 2 p.m. daily on The Fanatic. Brought to you by Sport Trade, a new app coming soon to Arizona.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
The Arizona general election is approaching on November 5th, 2024. Remember, the deadline to register to vote in this election is October 7th. If you request an early ballot, you can sign up to receive text messages or email updates about the status of your ballot. Find more information at arizona.vote. That's arizona.vote. Or call 1-877-THE-VOTE. Make your vote count and let your voice be heard. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And listen up, everybody. Football is back in full swing, so it's time to get in on the action with BetUS.com. I endorse one sports book and casino, and that is BetUS. Now, listen, BetUS went large for you this season with a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That's right, 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. BetUS offers value other sports books don't. Gamblers insurance, crypto bonuses, and casino bonuses. Get started today at BetUS.com or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BETUS. BetUS, where the game begins. And all right, so the games begin on Thursday. We're going to have plenty of NFL to talk about. Don't know if we're going to get to it in this show. I've been trying for since I got back, but yeah, that's fine. We have all day tomorrow. That's fine. We got all day Thursday. We'll be fine. So, but let me get back to the text line because every time I turn around, more people are trying to text in here. I think everybody likes it when we do distracted radio. Gamecock says CMC, Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker, Tua. I'm killing it in fantasy. Kiss the Cook says, so the Utah Mormons on the ice scored on themselves. Isn't that called masturbation? No, they don't do that. They don't do that. Fish Tank says, all right, you talked me into it. We keep running Skylar Thompson or Boyle out there. Tua takes the year off. We go 1-15, and the Arch Manning era begins in Miami. See, it's not this year, though, Fish Tank. It's next year. So, yeah, none of us get a chance to, I don't know. Maybe Arch Manning will go to the Cardinals.
Thought for sure you were going to tell him to shut his whorish mouth.
No, because he doesn't have a whorish mouth. Because I can't have him. He can't have him. It's not until next year. So we'd have to suck that far into the future, I guess. Flogging Lager says those jerks at the top, Manfred, Silver, Goodell, they've altered the game to the point of no return. Ghost Runners, After Review, Culture Club of the Orange Ball have made the big 3 straight vomit. Hockey is the only real thing going. And now it's gone. Unbelievable. That was poetic.
Very.
And depressing.
like all the great poems, to be honest.
Thank you, Flogging Lager. Let's see. Ringless Joe says, what's the deal with Will Levis? What's the deal with Will Levis? Sorry, anytime somebody starts it with what's the deal, I'm automatically Seinfeld.
Will Levis is not seeing the field, is the short answer. He's guessing. Strong arm. He can really throw it, but he is guessing when he's out there.
So glad we didn't go that way. So glad. Gamecock says, hey, I'm Mormon. Can I change my name to Super Soaker? No, you're Gamecock. You don't get to change your name.
And don't be greedy. You already have a great name.
Super Soaker.
You don't get to have 2 great names in one run. That's just unfair.
So, you remember Kwame Brown?
Yes,
I do. Oh, do I? Why?
That was one of your guys.
Number 1 overall pick by us. We drafted him.
Wait, didn't
Michael Jordan specifically drafted him? Yeah, Michael Jordan was the general manager of the Washington Wizards, and they drafted Kwame Brown right out of high school.
What do you think of Kwame Brown? Is he all right?
Kwame Brown, the guy. I mean, the last I heard from him, he's bitter, but
I think he's bitter and looking for attention because he was just in an interview the other day and he said, Old school players in the NBA wouldn't have any problem taking LeBron James on. He says the old school players would have no trouble with LeBron because at 39, he should have developed a mid-range and post-game, and he still hasn't yet. His game really hasn't evolved outside of a three and putting his head down and going to the basket. He doesn't like Paul Pierce. He doesn't go like Paul Pierce, getting to a spot, pulling up. Those are the things you normally see out of a superstar player. So what he's saying is he hasn't developed. He hasn't evolved. He says, if I had a LeBron James jersey, I'd be burning it right now.
That's okay. Well, that's too far. I do think that Kwame Brown's looking for attention a little bit. I mean, he should have had a relevant career based on where he was drafted, and he never was. But when it comes to LeBron didn't develop a mid-range because the league evolved away from the mid-range. Why would you have that now? It's the worst shot statistically to take. Teams want you to put your head down and go to the basket, either score there or draw a foul or shoot threes, because threes are 1.5 times what 2-pointers are worth. So you get why shoot an 18-footer that's really good when you could just take a few steps back and shoot a three? That's everybody in basketball. That's not just LeBron. I understand that the guy who had Michael Jordan screaming at him at every practice might feel differently, but
I think a three is a third more. I think it's a third more than a 2-point shot. I think that's probably the actual math.
Sure.
Sorry, I got hung up on that.
That's fair.
It's not 1.5 times. That. Well, I guess that works too. I don't know. Probably easier to say it's a third. It's worth a third more.
It's a bit more clear, and we are on radio. So yeah, it's a third more, and you're shoot. It's a shot that's a few difference in feet. Just shoot the three. This is.
I don't break any one of the three of us. You just start talking math.
Yeah, you
33.33% more.
Just used numbers on.
Well,
me.
that's a third, Randy. That is a straight third. You don't have to say 33 and a. You don't even say 33.333333.
Yeah, that's what 33 and a third more.
I just say yeah.
I think
3 is more than 2.
Well, yeah, because the 3 is one more than 2, which would be a third, which would be 33 and a third.
You could have one more point than 2.
Right. So I'm pretty sure I'm right in this one.
I can't even argue with you.
We are actually all correct.
Yeah.
It's math.
No,
so I'm not going to argue.
I don't think that we're all correct. I think you guys were wrong, and I hit it on the head.
Here's how I know for sure that Kwame Brown's just looking for attention. Then he goes after Shannon Sharp and calls him a punk mother effer and a thick-tongued idiot.
Well, Kwame Brown also has never liked Shannon Sharp for whatever reason. Every time, like I don't know why I know Kwame Brown's opinions on Shannon Sharp, but I've heard him a couple of times on various podcasts and places that he's showed up. He's just never liked Shannon. I don't know why. Why Shannon of all the talking heads? I'm not sure, but he just doesn't like Shannon at all.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion on Shannon, so I can't get mad about it one way or the other.
Me neither. But
he's got really, really big teeth,
giant teeth, like really big teeth.
Yeah, and they're really white.
He seems like a nice enough guy. I don't know.
I had a friend that bumped into Shannon Sharp at Disney World.
Did it hurt?
And it did. He said Shannon Sharp's just a gigantic person, and even he wasn't in playing shape at that point, but he was still very gigantic and
well, how did he bump
solid?
Into him? Didn't he see him? I mean,
no, he wasn't paying attention to where he was going.
Then
it's one of those you bump into like a person and you're like, well, who is this? And then you look up and it's the biggest person you've ever seen.
With the biggest teeth you've ever seen.
Yeah. And he said he was really nice about it.
Really big teeth.
Got to chat a little bit.
Really.
I mean,
door size.
Door
size.
Yeah. They are big. They are big teeth.
8626 says, I love hockey. The guys are so sexy when they fight and tear their shirts off. I think somebody's just trying to get me to say these things.
I think that's I think
8626 is a fraud. Baker's Cocky Hen says, no, I'm not reading that. That's too dirty. That's too dirty. Lost Toby says, I've been sucked far into the future.
Excuse me?
And it ain't that bad out here.
Pardon?
I think he says he's time traveled.
Phrasing, sir.
Oh.
Gamecock says, if I had Kwame's hand size, I'd feel better about myself at the urinal. That's for sure. Kyle G says, all-time scoring leader LeBron never developed, huh? All right. Champion with 3 different teams, never worked on his mid-range, constantly compared to Michael Jordan as best of all time. LeBron only ever shoots long shots and drives the basket. Fix that for you there, Kwame.
LeBron didn't come into the league with a 3-point shot. So how can you say he never developed?
This just in. Braves up 4-0 in the 4th, according to Fish Tank.
Well, that's not great news. I mean, it is for Fish Tank.
It is for Fish Tank,
but not us here.
Mr. Roboto says, I've never dropped acid, but I saw Tammy Faye Baker at Disney World once, and the makeup is real.
Wow.
That's got to be like doing acid. If you had seen her in real life.
A single moment acid trip right there.
You just want to walk up to her back when she was alive and just reach up and just grab a fingerful of just see how deep it goes.
And in that humidity, wouldn't you think that her face would be melting?
Oh yeah, Disney World.
Right. Yeah.
Had to be January.
Well, because they've got the sprays that keep it on there. She probably emptied an entire container of them.
Wait a minute. They've got spray that keeps the makeup on?
I'm pretty sure she was well shellacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You're supposed to spray it, but I'm pretty sure she just opened the bottle and poured it on her face. I assume that's how that went.
Roboto says it was in fact January or February.
It's the only time she can go out.
Well, she's dead now. She's dead.
Well, now she can't go out.
I guess now she can't go out at all.
She can't ever get out. Anyway, so LeBron James.
Is that the knocking they kept hearing?
Yeah. What is that noise? Is that Tammy Faye again?
Is that SOS in Morse code?
So LeBron James is looking to broadcast. Now, I don't know where he would broadcast, but he's like, yeah, I see old Tommy Brady there doing it, and he's been great. He says,
has he?
He says, even if it's just a guest appearance, 1 game or 2 when I'm done playing, it's always fun to give back to the game. Is that what you're doing, LeBron? Giving back to the game?
No, LeBron sees another great athlete getting attention, doing a thing, and he wants to do it too because his ego is gigantic. That's why.
I'm giving. That's just so LeBron, isn't it?
And that's the reason why he goes with the game or 2 rather than I'm going to do this full time. It's not exactly going great for Tom.
Yeah, he's not that good at it. And they have spent how much money?
It takes time to get good at it.
$300 million.
But yeah, I don't know if he's got a natural knack for this at all. I really don't think. I don't think it's going to get much better than this.
They are paying the second coming of John Madden and Pat Summerall. That's what you wouldn't pay anybody else that money unless Lord in heaven said, I'll give you back Pat and John. You're like, $350 million sounds fair. And there that you do. But Tom Brady getting as much as he made playing for a few years of broadcasting, it just you needed to know what you were going to have before you pulled that trigger, man.
It's kind of sad because you would expect Tom Brady to be like uber prepared and have all these little intricate, insights to the game, and you don't hear that.
I think the game's. I don't think anyone's ever said this about Tom Brady, and if they have, it's been 20 years. The game looks like it's too fast for Tom Brady. Like it sounds like he's always just a little behind.
Well, he can play the game, but he can't.
Well, yeah, but he's
not.
But you've got to communicate it too.
He's a little dopey,
and people think that broadcasting, you just walk into the booth and start talking, and that's not what broadcasting is.
No,
that's
what we do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say, I feel like we're broadcasting.
But the thing is, if you've got like a talent for it, it does feel like just talking. But for a lot of people, like it takes a little bit more work than that. You can ask any athlete that's ever had to go to make the move to broadcasting. They've all struggled with that transition. And Tom Brady's not going to be any different. And maybe he can overcome it, but like it's not a natural gift for him. It's something he's going to really have to work at.
I have no talent for this, and I have no idea how I get away with it. But LeBron James is talking about, maybe doing it. So here's the real question. Yes, ginormous ego. Yes, occasional. He's an asshat, but then other times he's pretty cool. He can be all right. He's not horrible all the time. I'm kind of split down the middle on old LeBron James. So I don't know if I'm the right person to answer this, but do we think he'd be good at it?
Maybe.
He's pretty smart, right? He can handle.
LeBron's very smart.
I feel like he'd be better at breaking down basketball than Tom Brady is at breaking down football.
I think LeBron is a better public figure than Tom Brady. Like, he's better at just talking to people in general, where Brady kind of always comes across as like the really nerdy guy that loves football and could talk about football all day. LeBron can bring it down to like just your average NBA fan watching a game. I think he could do it. And he's got an incredibly high basketball IQ. I just want, if he's a better communicator than Tom, then he can do it. But like you never can tell with these guys until you just see them out there.
Yeah, i.e. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to find out, but I think he might be all right. Maybe on a inside the NBA kind of show in the future. So
I think he'd be better at that.
Yeah.
And honestly, with Tom feels like he'd be better at a halftime pregame kind of thing, as opposed to.
I said that from the beginning.
I agreed with you from the beginning.
Tom Brady should have been on the Fox Morning Show. Launch Gronk, put him in there. Now, he has at least some IQ higher than that, and it would have been a better deal for him, better show. Well, whatever. What do I know? All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got on this date in Big George's sports history. We also have the teacher lady quote of the day. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on The Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games, plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Doug.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary, underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So the teacher lady sports quote of the day, something that we decided we'd go ahead and give a shot to, because we've been doing the on this date in Big George's sports history since, 2017. And when the Fanatic started here in Phoenix. And, I thought that was fun. And some people wish I would go back and do the old-timey sports history. I just figured nobody liked that idea. I kind of was just like, well, I don't want to do that. But I might do it again someday if people really dig that sort of thing. But the teacher lady sports quote of the day, she sent it over in an email because I like to, print them up and get them going. But then I saw who this was today. Well, I'm not really qualified to read this. So we had to have a seance and bring him back from the great beyond. Here he is now, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, with the teacher lady sports quote of the day.
It's very good to see you guys again. Listen, I've been laying out there for so long, I've almost forgot how beautiful the sky was and how beautiful the great earth is. But listen, here's what I have to say today. The teacher lady sports quote of the day. Get a dream, hold on to it, and shoot for the sky. I'm the hit maker, the record breaker. I got style and grace and a pretty face, and I'll make your back crack and your liver quiver.
That is the teacher lady sports quote of the day. Did he really say that? Your liver quiver?
Yes, I really did.
That is amazing.
Yes, it is. It's very. Do I have to go now?
You probably need to leave.
You're dead. Probably.
Yeah. Thank you. The ghost of Dusty Rhodes, ladies and gentlemen. So there it is. The teacher lady sports quote of the day. Let me go back and look at this again. What is it? I don't even know what he's trying to say here. Get a dream and hold on to it is what I see. Yeah. And that's it. The rest was just him talking about himself. Here's the
hit maker.
The advice is get a dream and hold on to it. Yeah. And shoot for the sky.
Yeah. And keep your feet on the ground and reach for the stars. I believe it was Casey Kasem.
That was Casey Kasem. That's not a sports quote from him, though. And be honest, fake wrestling's not really a sport.
I'm glad he's not here to hear that. Wow.
Yeah. Teacher lady, no more wrestling quotes, please. No more fake wrestling.
I don't know how he would take that.
Yes. He's dead. He'll take it lying down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1938, John Donald Budge, a red-headed kid, tall one from Oakland, California, became the first player in tennis history to win all 4 of the world's major tennis titles in the same year when he defeated Gene Mako of Los Angeles in the final round of the U.S. Open. Budge remains the only American man to accomplish that feat.
You know what they called Bud Mako?
Budge?
No, they called him the Shark.
Gene Mako?
Right. They called him the Shark.
Why'd they call him the Shark?
I'll just blow the whistle on myself. It was a reach at a bad pun.
I don't get it.
Mako Shark.
Mako Shark what?
Yeah, Mako Shark.
Keon, do you understand this? I don't understand this.
Gene Mako. And
I feel like you've Mako a mistake.
And that's a kind of shark.
That's why I said
is that a kind of shark, really?
Yeah, Mako Shark. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was the name for it. I know great white shark.
All you got to do is watch Shark Week.
Oh, well, I don't watch the Shark Week.
It's on for like 4 months.
Once year. I realized nobody was getting eaten by the sharks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's a lot of shark activity though.
Yeah, but nobody's getting eaten.
Well, not on purpose. No.
Yeah, I'm.
There are people
sharks.
missing chunks.
Oh yeah.
Well, now you got my attention. I mean, I am. I'm always pro shark. I was pro gator every time I saw the what's his name, Steve Irwin. Whenever he was messing with them alligators and crocodiles and stuff.
It was a crocodile hunter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that it's like, really? It was a stingray that got him?
Yeah.
I feel like that just That didn't make any sense.
Right through the heart.
And the Stingray was to blame.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, this Budge fella, this John Donald Budge, back in 1938, who did that. Later on, manly man in 1942, joined the U.S. Army Air Force, fought in World War II for 3 years. During the war, though, unfortunately, he tore a muscle in his shoulder.
Oh,
never fully healed, and that was the end of his tennis career.
Oh, that's too bad.
But hey, at least he won those all those. He still had. But to this day, nobody else has done this. So
Can I ask a question?
No.
Why back in the day did they always go by 3 names? John Donald Budge. Why not just John Budge?
Can I just tell you, which I don't understand? On the sheet here, it says John Donald in quotations Budge. So his nickname was Donald. That indicates nickname was Donald. Budge ain't enough. Hey, Budge.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Do you know anybody with the last name Budge?
Literally 0 people.
I feel like you should call somebody Budge if their name is John Budge. Where did this Donald thing come from?
I don't know. Seems
Great,
like
Randy.
every time you're on Big Georgia Sports History, there's always 3 names involved.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Assassins. It's always 3 names.
Well, that's true.
But I guess back in the olden days, they used all 3 names.
And one as a nickname for some reason.
Yeah,
that just seems odd to me. Donald, of the 2 names, Donald is not the nickname there.
Budge.
Yeah, it's Budge.
Budge is the nickname.
Yeah.
I never even, till today, never heard the last name Budge.
No. Call me Donald. But your name's John. I don't care. I like Donald.
And even then, Donnie, Don.
Oh, it was
People
Donald.
who go by the full Donald.
The full Donald.
I don't know anybody who goes by the full Donald. You never go with full Donald.
Well,
never.
We had a president that went the full Donald. But.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right. Teacher lady says, wow, that was amazing. And thank you for the quote. But just again, let me caution you, we will not do fake wrestling quotes ever again. That's a yellow card. Bullseye says Randy does such a good Dusty Rhodes spot on. I felt like I was transported back to the 1980s. Teacher lady says sounded just like him. It wasn't Randy. It was the actual ghost.
It was
of
actually
Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, we have that kind of power here.
We can't stop him. Really.
No,
we don't have any power. He just shows up.
Yeah.
We have
Comes
nothing
and
to say
goes.
about it.
Him and Sergio Garcia.
This is the first time we've wanted him here.
Sergio Garcia is actually still alive, but the ghost of him still shows up. It's weird. It's
all the
bizarre.
time.
And the ghost of his career. Big George digging the teacher lady quote of the day.
Did you hear the thunder after that lightning quick response?
What? I feel like I'm forgetting to do something today.
Well, let's see.
Oh.
We've done on this day, Big Georgia Sports History.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Radio Ron says, did you give away midget wrestling tickets? Yeah, we gave away 2. Because that's all that wanted them. We
Just
gave
a
away,
small grouping.
yeah, a pair. So we'll give it a shot again tomorrow. We'll keep letting people know that they exist, but it's on a Monday night. That was the thing. This is going to be, this is going to be tough. Do you need any Radio Ron? Do you need some tickets? Put your email address into a text message, and I'll send them to you. I got plenty.
Have an idea. I know what else he'd put in an email to you.
What? I don't even know what that means. So
Me
if
neither,
you're-
but it sounds ominous.
if you want tickets, if there's anybody out there that wants the tickets to the biggest little show on earth, the Micro Wrestling All-Star Showdown, it is next Monday at 8 p.m. And that is September 30th at the Stratus Event Center, 4344 West Indian School Road. I will give you tickets. All you got to do is email me, say, I want some tickets, and I'll give them to you. Just put your email address, text it to me. I want tickets, and put your email address in there. I'll give you the tickets. We're not going to make you do anything. Randy wanted to make you do stuff. I'm not making you do anything.
Micro
WrestleMania.
You just got to promise to go to the thing. You know, you got to promise to go to the thing. And it's little guys wrestling. But I don't know. Did we ever figure out, is there gals? Is there gals? Is there little gals
I
wrestling?
went to the website where they're selling the tickets that we're not giving away, and I did not see any women on that page there. So
still though,
how odd and peculiar.
Micro Wrestling All-Star Showdown. If you want the tickets, just bring it. Radio Ron says, no, I'm busy wrestling midget bankers. Tila says West Side is the best side. Okay. Did he just make me say a gang thing?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't-
I didn't want to be a Crip or a Blood.
I
don't know.
I don't know how it works out here, but I don't think so.
Well, I've seen him flash in the W gang sign. I don't want to be.
West Side.
I want to be brought into this.
Yeah. Don't think you really do.
I'm 53 years old. I'm pretty sure no one's initiating me into a gang.
As long as no one asks you where your grandma stay at, you're probably fine.
All right.
Probably okay.
Hey, everybody, guess what? We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. See ya. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580.